Hello, you guys. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing? I have absolutely nothing planned. I'm so sleepy. Sleepy squad, Jeff Jeffingson. Hello, you guys. Forest Kitten 712. This is really a revealing skirt. Perhaps. Swimming. I know, look at my cute little beach. Or pool, rather. Isn't it adorable? Hello, dead dog. How are you doing? Don't sound so excited. More like I'm just a little fatigued. You know what I mean? Dark virus. Just a lot, I feel like you understand. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Howdy, howdy, Jeff Jeffingson. How are you doing? Swimming with Tado. Speaking of which, we gotta bring Tado up on here. He's gonna be my little guest, co-host today. Helping me do this little stream. I completely understand. You know what I mean? It's just like, I remember I'm just in an irritated mood, so it's just one of those things where it's just I gotta govern myself. Still downloading the damn horse game. That game's pretty fun so far. Big disappointment today. What's going on, dead dog? What's going on? And howdy, Stargazer, and howdy, Stefan. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing this lovely evening? Okay, I got my music on. All right, we're good to go. I need new music. I've been running this music into the ground for the past, what? Oh, God, since I started. 6. Forest Kitten, not good. What's going on, Forest Kitten? Oh, please, I'm sure society will get your mood up. I don't know about that. Sometimes he's a little much. Everyone's like, Kaosa, Quesado, Kaosa X Tosado. Oh, God, you guys don't even know the nonsense I have to go through. It's a staple. Oh, the music. I was like, wait a minute. Tosado rural Brazilian internet. It's worse. I like the style of this game. Low-key, it's kind of fun. I would play it on stream, but I just don't, unfortunately, I'm using a Mac right now, as I don't have that, availability to play it. Don't bury me before I even have a chance. Me when I'm attention whore drama. Clone Commandos, hello, how are you doing? I'm a Kitty City sister. Oh, that's right, Forest Kitten 712. How's Kitty City doing, by the way? Long time for Kitty City. Poor Tosado and Kaosa. All right, let's bring the nutcase. Loki, guys. Tosado was like, we need a VTuber model for me. I think I'm fine with him being a bird. I think I like the bird. You know what I mean? I'm always like superior. I can always eat him at any time. I think I like the bird. All right, let's start voice call. There we go. Doing good. How are you? Look at him. Just appear from nowhere. Oh, can you turn your reactive Tosado into, instead of the fading, can you do the bouncing? The fading looks ugly. No, I don't. So fix it. Let me see. No. God, why are you always so... Wait a minute. Hold on real quick. Wait. Can you guys hear him? I don't, because I'm not seeing the movement. We can't. Okay. All right, give me a second. Studio mode. I just had it. Maybe I copied the wrong audio capture. No sound. Okay. Let's see. Mac OS capture. Pool evening. Right click. Properties. Discord. It is definitely set as a Discord speak. Wow. It's not coming out. Let's crowdfund a bird 3D model. Can you imagine? All right, let me see. Why does that? We literally just had this working. And I just copied the exact settings as before. Let me just try something else. Okay, hold on. Mac OS audio capture 2. Application. Discord. All right, speak. It's not, man, what the? Hi, Kitty City, how are you doing? How are you doing? Oh, God, how the hell did this just happen? Should I try refreshing Discord? Or should I try refreshing. Change scenes, it might refresh. That's what I'm kind of doing behind the scenes because I have it set as studio mode. All right, let me just try it. Studio mode, okay.
Oh, I'm slightly hearable.
No, heard him a little bit. Oh, maybe. Okay, speak actually.
Hello?
You're probably coming in through my headphones, lol. There it was.
Oh.
It won't apply until you exit studio mode. Oh! Speak?
Hello? Is that what it was?
Okay, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. What the? Okay, yeah, the first audio capture didn't work. All right. Let's mute that.
All right.
Let's hide that. Actually, we can
Hello,
get rid of
Jeff.
this. We hear him. There we go.
Hello, Jeff. Hello, Stargazer.
I bought all this nice
Howdy,
streaming stuff
Dark
for PC and it
Virus.
doesn't
Howdy,
work.
Stella. Howdy, Dead Dog.
Let's see. Dead Dog said, I bought all this nice streaming stuff for PC. It doesn't even work. You have to have a nice PC to kind of get all this stuff to work. What's your favorite horse, Tado?
I do not know the horses.
All right, and so you're still doing the fading. You're not doing the bouncing. Can you fix that?
Wait, I said it though. Do I have to hit
Maybe
something
maybe
to make
I
it
have
say?
to set it.
Yeah, maybe you said it.
All right, let me check. I think Tado would like vodka. Probably. Let's see.
I would like vodka.
Yeah, that's one of the horses' name.
I know I saw some stuff about the real was it gold ship? Is that one of them?
Everybody, I'm about to mute that tag on Twitter. It's just like, oh, guys, did you know Gold Ship was a real horse and the horse was Goofy? Like, how many?
I thought they were all real
variations?
horses.
They are, but the real horse is like kind of quirky, which I don't know. Like, I've been around a lot of horses in Tennessee, and a lot of them are really quirky and just fucking weird. You know
I was like, yeah, horses love being quirky and weird.
Yeah. Okay, bounce effect. Maybe that's me. Okay. Do I have to reset this? Okay, let's find out.
Am I bouncing?
Hold on. All right, pace. All right, talk.
Caw.
Okay, kind of bounces.
Did it work? It kind of bounces. Is it better than the fade?
Yeah, I think the issue is I think like your the two images, because it's like you see how you kind of lean forward when you speak. Sausage is here. Everybody be a
I see what you're
so
saying.
Real. Yeah, so it's like you see how you like
I need to like copy paste it and realign it.
Yeah, technically. I have 200 subs on my channel now. That's awesome, Forest Kitty. That's awesome. Let me get back to chat.
Leaf, you're afraid of real horses?
It depends on running
That's embarrassing.
Riding them or not. I'd definitely say. Demo, speaking, crossfade. What is this? All right, speak.
Hello. What am I doing?
Okay.
What are you doing?
Now you're just bouncing.
Now I'm just bouncing?
Yeah, so it was just me.
Oh, okay, cool. Did you have both effects on or something?
Yeah, I did. If you just image canvas size for both, it'll look better. There you go, Tado. I don't know how much better we can make this little tiny drawing look. You know what I mean?
Hey, I was in the trenches building this. You have no idea.
Oh, drama. I make lyric videos. From scratch. Oh, God. Lyric videos, Forest Kitten. That's awesome. Lyrics to what song? I do ask. Let me see. Where's my little floaty? Do I want my floaty? It's a pool party, you guys. Hi, Dead Dog, says Stargazer.
Do you have anything for me? What if I fall in the water?
Anyways. We need Crosado. I like Crosado, low-key. Crosado for Halloween collab in a few months. You know what I mean? I think he just should stick as a crow. I don't even think we need to put Tado as a VTuber avatar, like a human. I think he's fine as a crow. What do you guys think? Birdman will drown.
I'm alright
probably.
as a crow.
You know what I mean?
I like being a crow. Crows are cool.
Yeah, okay. Explain to me why crows are interesting.
I love their like intelligence and curiosity as an animal.
All
Just I've
right.
watched a lot of documentaries on crows. There's a lot of just interesting bits and pieces about them. I like the way they look.
Hmm. All right. All
Jeff?
right. That's good to hear. Put that right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's good. New debate: crows versus ravens. I can't even. Ravens have what? I thought ravens have the black beaks and crows have the orange beaks, or is that misinformation?
Orange.
Orange.
What crows do you see with orange beaks?
I don't know. Like the ones in drawings for Halloween.
That's
I'm gonna
wild.
go now, Ferris
No,
Kitten. See you later. I wonder if Jace the Ace is gonna pop up.
Bye, Forest Kitten.
Should make it like a plague doctor
ravens
avatar.
are like huge compared to crows. That's the big thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then it's a curved beak rather than like the straight beak that a crow has. That's like
That
the
makes
easy way to
sense.
tell.
Have you ever seen Nichijou?
Yeah.
You remind me, especially because your voice, you remind me of that little crow. What was his name?
Oh,
Maybe it's just Karasu because it's crow for Japanese.
yeah, that sounds right.
Hi, Nia Hopkins.
Yeah, I think
How are
you're
you
right.
doing? I think so, maybe. The floaties and glasses are cute. Thank you. There's the little stickers I put on my model.
He was
Make it a little-
designed very well.
Right? I got the cool kid glasses on. Nichijou's so peak. It really is. You know? But Nia Hopkins, how are you doing? How are you guys doing today?
Hello, Nia Hopkins.
Clone does say
Dark
we
Virus,
should make
what
him
the-
into a plague doctor avatar.
Ooh, plague doctors are cool.
Yeah, I'd say they're kind of cool.
Very like stereotypical cool, but they're cool.
Ask Tado about Halloween being a conspiracy, lol. What does he mean by that?
I have no idea. That's what I was about to ask when you
Oh.
mentioned clones comment. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, I know a lot of conspiracies, but
Alright, tell me a single one of them.
a single one of them?
Yeah.
Like one that I believe, or just like a conspiracy in general?
Sure. I mean, just what is the most outlandish one that you believe?
The most
Remember you told us about Big
outlandish?
Candy. Oh yeah! Big Candy!
Okay, but Big Candy, that's real.
Wait, hold on real quick. Nia says, and what may I call our feathered friend? This is Tado. The obnoxious guy always in chat. We gotta get you a little collar that just says Tado, you know what I mean? Full bird maxing.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I probably should Alright, anyway, back to the conspiracy theory.
And then you'll wear a collar that says Chaosia.
Oh brother. Do an attack on art.
Hi, Nia
Art looks
Hopkins.
fun.
But yeah, so the big candy and like daylight savings time and all that. Yeah, no, that's a real one. That's like backed by fact. It's not even a conspiracy.
Okay. What is so what is the most outlandish one that you agree with? And by the way, do you know if do I have to launch the dual stream for Twitch, or can I technically do it now? You know what I mean? Because I still need to figure that out.
I've got no clue. I always do it
Okay.
before I go live.
All right,
like,
useless.
Because I don't know if it messes up.
Fireheart Uwu, how much to put the bird in the washing machine? $3.
Fireheart.
I do have a washing machine background.
Fireheart, why would you do that to me? What the hell?
All right.
I'm out here getting roasted by chat already.
It is so funny how stiff you sound on stream, I will say. You sound so stiff. Why? I think you need to send
There's
both
so many
lives at
people
once.
watching.
Probably. Did you say there's so many people watching? We're clocking in guys, we're clocking in a whopping 13 concurrent viewers. Can we get 7 likes, guys? Can we get 7 likes on this video? You know
Listen,
what I mean?
Jesus had 12 disciples, and I cannot handle the pressure of being Jesus, okay?
I wonder how many times you've either used that or recited that. Wash him says dead dog. Thank you, my dear, for the $3 super chat.
Thanks, dead dog.
I wish it was a way we
Right.
could move you around.
Yeah, Fireheart, cool? the bird is I.
Yeah, that is definitely a Tado. Yeah. It would be really cool if we made you into like a VTuber bird and you could like sit on my shoulder and it's still reactive. You know what I mean? That'd be really cool.
That'd be cool.
All things considered.
I could sit on your shoulder.
Don't worry,
here and in real
Tado.
life.
Don't worry,
Sorry.
Tado. The emotional support German is here. Says that one leaf. How are you doing, by the way? That one leaf. I've not checked on my
Thank you,
problem
That One
child
Leaf.
in a while. That'd be so cute. Low key.
Wait, Leaf got downgraded back to just problem child? Unlucky.
I mean, okay, so what? So am I supposed to call him the flight risk or something?
Yeah, he was proud of that.
Yeah. Oh god. See, that's the problem with you guys. You guys like glorify anything I say negative against you guys. You're like, yeah. Like as soon as you guys have any sort of title whatsoever, you take it and run. Like it's just the greatest thing ever. And that's the problem. Because like I'll say some stuff like again that you guys go ballistic. You know what I mean? I take a break from Art Fright to draw to Tado. That'd be hilarious. Crow Tado.
Hey, yo.
I was thinking about the shoulder thing. That would be really cool. And it's like, I think I actually... I think I know for a fact I know how to do it, actually. Because all I have to do is, like, create... Like, you'd have to be a model. You can split the model to where I can go on my shoulder. And then your mouth opens for the audio sound. Aw, Crispy Clee, $50. Good God. Finally got my pay, so I had to share it. Thanks for the fun content, y'all. Looking forward to more. Thank you, Crispy Clee. That was so kind of you. So I'll say thank you.
Thank you, Crispy Clee. I was waiting. I didn't want to interrupt you. Damn.
Thank you. That was really kind of you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Crispy Clee.
Firehearts, Tado sounds cute. Can we get married? Absolutely. Guys, to the highest bidder.
No,
I'll marry
wrong.
off Tado to anybody.
Nope. I
It's
only
not
marry
gonna work.
Kaozia.
Oh, brother. Animal. What is this? Bestiality?
That's because I'm the GOAT.
Time in shambles right now. Oh, yeah. Oh. Man, I kicked your ass then.
so
I was
funny.
actually rewatching it. I was like, I said that. Yeah, I did that. It was so much fun. But thank you, Crispy Clay. I really do
Such a-
appreciate it. What were you saying?
What?
You said something and I was interrupting you. Tado go, says Timmy. All right, your number
We
2
love Tim.
fan. Your number 2 fan is here. And Gore.
Number 2 fan.
Hey, look at you.
Number
you
2
have the
and
crowd.
number 1.
Yeah, exactly. you
I
have the
do.
crowd.
And my emotional support German. Oh,
Think
yeah.
Toaster needs a crown? That'd be funny. Why would we get you a crown? It'd go straight to his head if we did that. He has an ego.
Well,
Me
of
and my
course it would
mom
go to my head.
say-
That's where you put a crown.
Well, that was a good one. I'll give you that. That was a good one. Wish I could have had the debate on
Jeff.
the background, but a swamp would work. Oh, I just whooped his ass. Like, what did you expect? What, guys? We all expected this. In fact, oh my god, surprised it lasted as long. Like he was trying everything, Stella. He was trying everything to try and like, well, what about this specific scenario that doesn't make any sense? What about doctors? Oh, brother. Whooped.
Oh, Gorv, this is my uncaging party. I've been freed of my shackles.
Jeff Jeffing says, I hate Tado. Give him a funny hat. All right. Let's
Yeah, I
find
saw
him a
that.
funny
I saw
hat.
that Jeff said that Jeff hates me. I'm gonna cry.
All right. Let me see if I can find a PNG for your a funny hat. Brother, she
Be
was in
careful, Tim.
shambles halfway through. You're so funny. Timmy is one of the funniest people here.
Jeff will male pregnant react you, Tim, and you already have like the whole not gay quote unquote thing going on. I'd watch out around Jeff.
Okay, hold on. I do see. I think like you might be a little low. Give me a second. Is this me or
Here,
you?
we can just do this. Now I'm good.
Oh, yeah, I
How
think
about
that sounds
that?
a lot better. Oh, a lot better. Voice and video settings. All right, talk.
Hello, this is me.
Can we get a cowboy
Tim's out here
hat?
trying to pretend he's straight again.
Tim is so funny. All right, is this PNG? I hate when you click on something and you're like, you play the gamble if this is PNG or not.
Oh yeah, it's brutal. The one advantage Surprisingly, Bing image search will actually let you filter by transparent backgrounds only.
Oh, I'll go there now, actually. Who hates Tasados? Jeff Jefferson. I love it how Jeff Jefferson's like, you know what? I haven't gotten enough attention lately. Let's make this about me. The heckler. That's how it starts. Every time someone wants a lot of attention, they're like, let me be a hater. That's you, Tasado. You did that. Tasado, I don't know how tomorrow Wordle will be for you, but I didn't even know the word LMAO, says that one Leaf.
Leaf, I forgive you on Wordles because you're ESL.
That's true. All right, let me see.
I will say I got absolutely cooked in Scrabble by Leaf a couple of times now.
Oh, God. You can filter transparent backgrounds, too. On Google as well. This is tough.
That Valentine was so funny, though, Stella. Stella said, I still wonder who sent the Valentine of everyone loves Tosado except Stella. It still haunts me. Sob emoji.
That is funny. I barely remember that.
It was.
But I vaguely remember that, you know what I mean? Alright, I think
I'm still pretty sure it was Stella that sent it.
It is possible. Alright, open. Oh my god. This is tough out here. Alright, man the chat, Tasado. I'm trying to get this downloaded.
Alright, manning the chat. Poor Stella, says Stargazer. Very true. Though, odd to see the pensive instead of the praying. Jeff Jefferson says, everyone... Wait, should I say Jeff Jefferson like you used to, or should I say Jeff Jefferson properly?
Did I say Jeff Jefferson? I thought I said Jeff Jefferson.
Yeah, you used to say that all the time.
Oh, that's hilarious. Feel free to do whatever.
Jeff used to fight hard to get you to say his name properly.
Almost choked on my orange juice.
Anyway.
Stella says Gorb.
Jeff said, everyone is liking Tosado way too much, so now liking Tosado is the normie's position. I roll, I roll, I roll. And my internet died, sad face.
Exactly. And Jeff Jefferson, I feel you so, like, that's so true. That's exactly how it should be. I do the same thing.
What the hell?
You're a, what's it called? You're gonna take the opposite. I'm installing Photoshop at the moment.
Contrarian.
Yeah, I feel bad I missed a bunch of Discord stuff because I was sad. Brain being big brain. Oh, why is that, Nia Hopkins? Why are you sad? If you want to talk about it. Let's see. Yes, I want to install. Is Tasado officially your pet now? Low key.
Low key? I did make a meme of me as the pet at the end of the chain, so...
Yeah, that is true.
I kind of wrote my own story here.
And you're like, haha, man, haha. I accidentally, haha. As if it wasn't your goal the entire time.
Oh my god, guys. I'm accidentally associating myself with Kaozia so everybody knows she's my wife. That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't pop her donut with your beak. What the? Unless you're talking about my balloon?
He's talking about your, like, inflatable tube.
I see. I'm trying to download Adobe. And it's giving me all these questions. Go ahead.
Don't call this man gigabrained. That was my tactic. I taught him that. I've taught Leaf everything he needed to know to be able to absolutely destroy me.
And what is that? I do ask.
Oh, just adding an S at the end of the words that I put, so he gets more points than me.
Oh, okay. In regards to the game, I see.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what the norm is here. We don't have a norm, and that's what's so funny, Crispy Clee. And that's why, like, I think it's kind of hard to, like, really promote anything because, like, I don't have anything. Like, I have like nothing. You know what I mean? We're just kind of like do just chatting. Sometimes I ask you guys about your problems. Just a job hunt not going well. Sometimes I think it just happens. I see. Situationally, that must be very, very stressful. But yeah, so it's like we don't really have anything in particular, and that's what we're kind of trying to find. We were possibly thinking about doing more news stuff, talking about the news and stuff like that. But I'm not really sure. I mean, you guys have any ideas? I can't fucking draw, as we all know. I cannot draw. I can't believe. You know, I've been drawing for how many years? I'm like, you know what? I should be able to draw on stream. How is that not even a, like, I did not account for that not being an option. You know what I mean? Tough.
True. Leaf says, go interview people at Chaosia.
All right.
That
who
is
should
true.
we interview?
You did mention we should interview some lol cows.
Yeah, that is true. There was a guy named Andrew Kowalski. He's a paranoid schizophrenic. And I was thinking about interviewing him. He seemed pretty down with the idea. But I need to get a little bit more of his background to do a proper interview, I will say. I don't have anything. You know what I mean, Dark Rise? I really don't. We're gonna draw? I hate drawing. Okay, ducks. You know what I mean? It's tough.
That was the best arc, though. It was like every stream, it's like, oh, we're drawing today. And it was just flipping a coin if it was actually ducks or not.
The ducks was fun, low-key.
Bring back the ducks we never finished.
And draw in a sketchbook. I just hate drawing, though. Because that is true. Sorry we're so funny that we overshadows your drawing. I like it. As long as I can laugh, I'm having a great time. I like it when you guys are really funny. You know what I mean? Duck game was
Stella
the best
said, when are we
saga.
getting drawings of ducks?
Oh, that'd be kind of fun, low-key. I just don't like drawing. Like, I'm so used to I'm so worker-pilled brain. I don't like drawing unless I'm making money off of it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel, you know what I mean? Like, in your free time, you wouldn't go into work and just chillax there. You know what I mean?
Actually, crazy enough, at my last job, some of my coworkers would literally do that. Like, on their days off, they would just come to work and chill and, like, talk. And I was like, what are you doing here?
Something for sure. You've reached your desktop activation limit. Uh-oh. Desktop. Oh, wait, we'll sign up on this one. Become a React Andy is an option. What do you do? Is React Andy just like you just look at content and react to it?
React Andy, I think, is more specifically like the people who just watch YouTube videos and then just like pause, insert their thoughts, continue, pause, insert thoughts, that kind of thing.
I mean, how do you guys perceive that? Like, to me, it just feels kind of scummy, but I guess if you're pausing it properly, it's fine. Because, like, you know, for me personally, it's like a YouTube video is not like thoroughly thought out. I don't know. You know what I mean? It just seems unbalanced, but I guess I see why people do that.
Mm-hmm.
We even had our own.
I mean, a lot of them obviously.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of them eventually just end up on like current events because nobody has a moral qualm if you're stealing from like CNN or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's like, you know, I know it's a gray area when it comes to like stealing. Yeah, I think it's fine personally to steal from very rich people. You know what I mean? Imagine loving your job. I could never. Me neither. I certainly do not love my job. Guys, kill me. I hate flipping burgers. Exactly. Ugh. God, that stream was disgusting. The actual burger stream. That was tough.
When you did what was it, fast food simulator?
Oh God, that was horrible. Like literally just thinking about it makes me nauseous. Meme time. A meme review. Maybe get a hobby. IDK. You know what I mean? I don't have any hobbies. So you don't have any hobbies. Well, you like building little toys.
I do my hobby on stream now.
Yeah, I think that's pretty smart. I think you're doing pretty good, all things considered.
I'm growing. I obtained an actual like brand new subscriber today. One of the people that have like subscriptions posted publicly, so it showed up, and it's just a guy who builds kits in his own time as well and posts videos about it. And I was like, oh,
so he
hell
found you?
yeah! I'm breaking containment. Yeah.
Look at you, growth. You love to see it.
You love to see it.
That is really good. Right,
thanks to all of my day ones out here.
Exactly. We all knew you had it in you. You just need a better microphone and a better Kanye. Or I mean,
Kanye.
I know you just read that, but You need a better Kanye. You know, better microphone. Better microphone and better camera. There we go.
You know my favorite Kanye song?
What?
Well, my second favorite's Power.
Oh, brother. What is your third favorite?
What's my third favorite Kanye song?
Uh-huh. You're a fake Kanye fan.
I am a fake Kanye fan.
A Kanye tier list would be kind of good, low-key.
That'd be fun for you, especially.
Yeah, everyone's like, A Devil in a Dress is such a good song. It's number one. It's not even that good. I hate to break it to everybody. KO's in Minecraft. I do have to do that again. I do still have to do that. Tado's becoming bigger than us.
You know what?
Go ahead.
One of my favorite Kanye songs is his one with Jay-Z. I like that one with Jay-Z. That's a good one. Jay-Z and him. In Paris.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Is Jay-Z acceptable still?
I don't know. I don't know, actually. I'm on observation duty. That game was scary. I don't really like the scary games, I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Dark Virus, you know what I mean? It's like he cannot, Tado cannot get attention unless it's like edgy. You know what I mean? You cannot.
No. I really like the song.
No, I really like the song. Conveniently, it's my set. You know, I can't say my first favorite song. You know what I mean? Listen here.
I was trying to think of a way. All right, calm down.
Cornball. Classical music stream when?
I still haven't listened to his new album. Is that a good one?
Which one? Bully or Donda 2?
Didn't he release another new one?
Yeah, it's probably Bully then. But it's like fragmented because it keeps getting censored by the streaming platforms, which is really funny. Who's in Paris exactly, guys? Who was it in Paris? Unpopular opinion, I don't like Kanye. I mean, he's a paranoid schizophrenic. You know, he's mentally ill. So that aspect of him is absolutely crazy. I think if anybody takes him seriously and at face value, it could almost be going as in like you're a bit simple in the mind, slow in the head kind of thing. Because you can't take those types of people seriously, but I think he's a very talented musician, all things considered. But he is a little, he's getting the nitrous in the brain. You know what I mean? It's getting a little to him. You know what I mean? Nobody knows. I noticed
Gorf said KOZ a classical music stream when. And I just wanted to interject and say, Gorf, you would love my streams. I love classical music.
Yeah, that is true.
That's my number one fan.
Has Gorf even been in your streams yet?
I don't think so. I think I usually stream way too late for Gorf.
Wow, fake fan. It is Peak though. It is a great song. That's the thing. He's really great music producer. Why I won't get scared? Horror games are nothing. Okay, yeah, I do remember screaming in the sink. That was scary. React to all of Skibbity Toilet. The thing is, like, I'm relatively fascinated by those kinds of like weird things. So it's like I don't really have anything negative to say. I'm more impressed. But what is like technically something we can react to other than? I mean, I guess we could react to news, but it's like, how do you react to news? You just read a news article, and then you're like, wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Kanye 2028 for real. I cannot believe he ran for president. You know what I mean?
He's definitely a little wild out there.
You know what I mean? Nazi one? Yeah, that one. Once, but it was quite late. I see. Sweet say. Loki, I just said that. How about you play a visual novel? I'm also very, very lazy, Nia, and that's kind of what is like the biggest problem here. Is like, unless I feel like my energy is going towards something productive, I lose all interest in it. So it's like when it comes to like reading, I just don't like reading. You know what I mean? I don't like reading text out loud, but it's like I like reading you guys' messages out loud because I'm like, that's productive. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Kaoza reacts to early YouTube content. JK. Alright,
Early
since
YouTube
JK.
content.
Since JK.
That's just what she grew up with.
Yeah, it is true. Back in the old days. How about ghost videos?
Fucking
I don't
the
believe
old
in ghosts. Well, okay, do you think those human composite things would be too, like, not safe for work on stream?
I think they're creepy, but I think they'd be okay for stream.
Hmm.
They're fucking creepy as hell, though.
Joseph, wait, the show's live twice a day? You gotta work on your merch, you want new flush. I know. I usually don't do twice a day, but I was like, I killed the crow, you know, immediately.
You gotta respect
and so I was like,
him.
the stream was ended, so I was like, okay, we gotta do something else, you know what I mean? But very rarely I stream twice a day, I will say. Do you have hobbies, Miss Yoiza? I like exercising, which again, I tried exercising, and I think I fried my last computer, so I don't think that's a really good option. But I was thinking maybe, I don't know, like maybe the like Nintendo, you know, the Nintendo exercising games? Maybe something like that.
Yeah, like Ring Fit and stuff.
Yeah, but there's like Wii Sports and like there's like a Miku Boxing or something like that. I don't think Tado saw my
there's
last
Miku
message.
Boxing.
Can you tell him I have been in one of his streams, please? Says Gorv.
About 5 lines down, you'll see my response to that. But thank you, Gorv.
Oh, did you respond?
Yeah. I told Gorv I did see it. I just didn't want to interrupt
Oh.
you to say anything.
Oh, okay. I see. I love how you didn't see these.
Yeah.
But as far as hobbies, other than exercising,
Amsterdam.
do I have any hobbies? I don't think I do. I don't know.
She actually just knows multiple crows with booming voices. It's
I like
a very interesting coincidence.
I like reading. There we go. I like reading and learning. You know, I like studying and stuff like that. That's my hobby.
I like reading.
Yeah. Wait, what is this creepy thing? Oh, the creepy thing. Wait 1 second. Good God. Is this the same crow or do you know multiple crows? You know, this is the same. This is the same problematic crow. Who I'm trying to milk for content right now. But the creepy thing, so essentially what it is, it's when it comes to dead bodies that are found by like forensic specialists and, you know, law enforcement or whatever, if they can't identify the body, like, you know, for whatever records or, you know, any sort of personal information, they take a picture of the dead body's face and then they Photoshop it and reconstruct it to make it look more human in order to be, they can post that image so it can be identifiable to the public. So it's like, it's called a forensic composite, but it is so fascinating because if you Google them, it is the most uncanny images ever because it's like in your, like the soul of a human, you know that the thing you're looking at is deceased. And it's like, you can't even really put it on like into words what specifically throws you off to realize it's a deceased human. But it's definitely deceased, but it has the characteristics of like looking like an alive human, like making like lights in the eyes and stuff like that. So it's a very uncanny feeling, and it is so creepy. I don't get scared of like these little Photoshop fake images, but those creep me out because it's like it unsettles you. You know what I mean? Reading stream, you just sit in silence the whole time. That'd be funny. I hate reading.
Yeah, they were definitely unsettling.
Yeah, I hate reading. I like reading. I like reading to myself. I don't like reading out loud. There we go. I don't want to see it, to be honest. That's what I'm saying. So it's like we'd have to do a specific stream. And it'd probably be one of those streams where it's like, I think I can mark it as like a mature stream. And that way it's like, it kind of has like a buffer because it is a very, very unsettling and creepy image. You know what I mean? Fascinating. It really is. And it's just so interesting because like there's nothing grotesque or like disfigured about the photo because they've altered that out. But there's just something in your gut. You're like, this is not a living human. I love reading out loud. The 5-minute flip flop was, oh yeah. I don't like reading out loud because I skim over it and it's like I think I read faster than I can speak, so I just slur my words together and I don't like the way it sounds. What are your
No,
thoughts on
yeah, for
body
sure.
farms? What are body farms? I want to see it. How do you type it? I'll type it in the Discord. Because I have to copy and paste. Go ahead, Tado.
Who was I referring to?
I don't know.
I got lost. I got lost in the sauce.
You gotta loosen up. You gotta loosen up because you're not acting like yourself. You're like...
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying. There's a lot of people here.
Oh my...
I'm trying to be well behaved.
Drama. You don't... Okay, you can be well behaved and not be so stiff at the same time.
I know. Yeah, Tim's right. You just beat me up too much and I'm scared.
Good.
I'm like a poor little abused bird and you're like,
It will build character.
go entertain the people.
Exactly. Entertain the people. I'm trying to look for this thing for Leaf.
Yeah, thank you, Stargazer. Be nice, Kaozia.
Oh god.
With
Stargazer
no JK
told me.
this time. No JK on Stargazer.
No JK? Alright.
Not JK,
nice.
there was a JK.
Oh. Alright. There we go. Alright, let me put in Alright. Alright, pay
Body farms
attention.
where bodies are donated to study decomposition. Huh. That's kind of wild.
That's very fascinating. Is there photographs online? I wonder if that's like in the realm of like it's like a scientific thing. It's not like we're doing it for like, you know what I mean? All right. I was like, I wonder if I could like look at that. That'd be cool. Because that is very fascinating.
Gorv did mention an interesting tidbit where he said it was the same in old times where taking photographs were quite rare. They might only have one family photo or such. In those cases, they would often time the images right after the death of a family member. Then they would dress the corpse for the image, and you could see the difference due to the stillness of the body.
I have seen some of that. That is very interesting. I guess we could like do a stream where it's like we look at creepy stuff like that. There we go.
It'd be wild.
All right, that one, Leaf. I put it and like search that, and that usually should pop it up.
But all that effort for just relief.
I know, but it is fascinating. Sorry, says Stargazer.
Oh, I get some sunflower seeds. Thank you, Stargazer.
Oh, that's really kind of you, Stargazer. That's very kind of you.
Y'all do the goo dit when I sleep. Thank you, Debunked.
What did... Y'all are live. Y'all do all the good dit when I sleep. Says Debunked. Well, Debunked, how are you doing? You got any ideas? We're kind of just loitering right here. We have no ideas of what we should do. Why does every chick just love things involving death and dead bodies? I mean, me personally, I do love studying the human body, psychology, and philosophy. So it kind of like goes and it kind of mixes all that together. I'm not one of those true crime people. However, the Explore With Us YouTube channel is absolutely phenomenal. I never get so deeply on like disgusted until I watch that channel. Would you work night shift at a funeral home? No, because I think like I truly believe working at a funeral home changes your perspective on death. And generally, I think there are some things in your life that you experience that you can't go back from. I think the act of taking care of dead bodies on such a frequent basis, like such as an employment, kind of gets you to a point where it's like you can't come back from that. You're gonna start seeing people and associate them with like death. You know what I mean? So I don't want to warp my perception of a life that way. You know, because I know my father, he's seen like a lot of dead bodies and stuff like that. And his perception of like life and death is like so, like, I don't want to say flawed, but that's the first word that comes into mind. And I don't want to do that to myself. So no, I would not work at a funeral home. Me personally, what about you, Tado?
I mean, night shift at a funeral home, you're really not going to be dealing with much of anything.
The real logistics
So
of it all.
like whatever, yeah, like that's fine. I wouldn't want to work at an actual funeral home though, like during normal working hours.
Mm.
I think that's just a huge mental toll to be with these grieving families and grieving people constantly. Even beyond, like you
Yeah.
said, just seeing the dead bodies, like you're just seeing grief day after day after day.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it does tend to wear down on people. I am actually surprised we don't have like laws in place for certain psychologically damaging professions that they are not required to pay some sort of compensation after a certain period of time in order to help them with like PTSD and therapy and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think as part of like being EMTs, I've had a couple buddies that did it, and they were like it was like included in their benefits to get therapy and all that for the
Ah.
inevitable effects of everything they saw.
Crispy Clee, I wonder if you're still in here. I wonder if you ever experienced something like that. You know what I mean? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, I guess I don't know about volunteer EMTs. That's true.
Why is my chat? Oh, I'm on top chat. I'm like, why? The chat on the video and chat in here, it was like different. I'm like, I did not see that message at all. Oh, God. Sorry about that. Sometimes EMTs are volunteer. So if they're volunteer, does that mean they don't have any compensation? You know what I mean? I may have seen a dead guy before, but I'm not sure. I wonder what the context was, Nia. Go ahead.
Stella said a comment of death and death culture being very fascinating, and I definitely agree. I think that's why there's a lot of fascination with it, is there's so many different cultures and different ways things have been looked at throughout time. Even currently, like different places nowadays still have just completely different ways they view death, different ways they celebrate life when somebody passes, that kind of thing. It's very, very interesting overall, and I think there's a good reason that it draws a lot of people. And even if you look at like religion and a lot of that, the biggest part of people's belief in religion is for what happens after death. There's a huge focus on death in society, whether you want to admit it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, again, like it is like a nice consumer thing where it's like, you know, anti-aging is low key, like kind of like anti-death, and like health is kind of like that. I can kind of see that. I mean, I think like, you know, what makes humans so interesting and substantial is the fact we are aware of our own death. You know what I mean? This is a very morbid topic.
Yeah, it is. But that's life.
I think you barely get anything, like $3 an hour for volunteer EMTs. Wild. Morticians are actually very skilled and they do a really good job. The most skilled of them do reconstruction work that helps the families grieve and see their loved ones at a peaceful state. Yeah. I think it's very fascinating because like the few times that I've been to a funeral, I've only seen one open casket. It didn't look like the person. You know what I mean? So I wonder if technically they paid more. Or if it's just like one of those things where I think you can tell.
Yeah, they never really look perfect or anything. Like they always look a little off.
Yeah.
I have a family member of mine who I think she's retired now, but for about 40 or so years, she worked in the morgue of a hospital, and her job was to do makeup on the bodies before they sent them to the funeral home.
Wow, 40 years. Good God. How was she as a person?
A little screwy, little not right in the head.
I kind of expected such.
Yeah.
Death is my most feared aspect in life. I think it's only natural. I think the best way to address those kinds of things is just literally not even think about it. You know, if it's to me in life, if something's inevitable or out of my control, I don't give it any thought. And so that's how I have such a very specific filtering system where I don't excessively worry about anything in particular, or excuse me, things in particular that are harmful for me, because I have such a good filtering system. So for example, I have literally probably never, I haven't thought about death. I don't even remember. Like, I don't know, like 6 or 7 months maybe. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, there's nothing I can do about it. You know, how often do you think about death, Tado?
Well, lately a lot more, but
Why is that?
before all that, family members and whatnot dying.
I see.
But before all that, really not that often. Like you said, I look at death as just the end of life, right? So it's like we'll get to the finish line when we get there, like whatever.
Group hug, everyone. Yeah, this is getting morbid. Like, this is getting sad. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't think about my own death.
Yeah.
I definitely don't worry about my own.
I believe in the afterlife and that death is normal, says Clone. I don't really believe in the afterlife, I don't think. But I don't know. Have y'all swum in a saltwater pool before? I don't think I have, all things considered. I don't think I have.
No, I don't think I've ever... Not a pool. Like, I've swam in salt water, but...
There's a decrepit castle in my city I went to draw for class, but there was a guy passed out in a small wall. The police came on horses, but they didn't seem too hurried to wake him. I see what you're saying. Like, he could be deceased, but also he could just be, like, shit-faced drunk, and they just don't move. Like here in Vegas, we have drunk drivers all the time. And yeah, they just, like, pass out. They do look like they're dead. And I've seen times where it's like they've ripped them out of the car, because they'll not often, I don't know why. I've seen this probably 3 times in my local community. Like, literally, as in I could see it from, like, the window. Probably in the last 6 months, where a person just parks in the middle of the road because they're so intoxicated they can't keep driving. They just park there. And the police have to come and then rip them out of their car. And it's funny because, like, you know, like, splat onto the ground. And thank God they were arrested. You know what I mean? It's very interesting. All the people I've seen at funerals, they don't look like people. I think that's a good thing, though. Low key. You know, I will say, very interestingly, when my grandpa, he had a heart attack, went brain dead, and his daughter was kind of, it was every sign pointed to brain death, and once it's brain death, it's like you're dead, and there's no chance of a revival. And his sister really wanted to keep him on life support because she's like, oh, I've seen, like, on the TV where it's like, it's a miracle, he comes out of the coma. So she's, like, kept him on the life support for a ridiculous amount of time. And what was very fascinating, though, is that the body was perfectly preserved, and it genuinely looked like he was sleeping. And what was also very interesting, very, very morbid, is my father, he was like, look at this. And it's like he would grab, like, my grandpa's foot, and it had, like, a reflex. Like, you know what I mean? As if, like, you know, like, hey, like, you know, when something grabs you, you need to kind of, like, do a reflex automatically. The body still did that. And I was like, that is very interesting. You know what I mean? Very interesting.
That is very interesting. Also, buy dead dog.
I'm an expert. It's weird. I'm pretty indifferent to death. When my father died, it was like, I think you may have been a little too young to kind of, like, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes when things happen when you're younger, you process them as if they were almost normal. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened to you, because, like, a lot of stuff happened to me when I was younger, and I'm like, this is normal. And then now, only as an adult looking back, I'm like, that was not normal.
Oh yeah, that was. I definitely had that moment where I was like, yeah, that was normal, and I look back, I'm like, no, that was fucking weird.
I don't think he was breathing, but I can't remember because I got freaked out. That's fair. Perhaps. The human body is crazy, man. It really is. And it's like, it was like the same jolting movement. Like, stop touching my leg. It was kind of crazy. How is one brain dead if there are still some signals being sent to the body? Brain death. Okay, so I use brain death in the sense of the consciousness and the ability to wake and to process information on your own. Not necessarily actual 100% brain death, but if I'm not mistaken, I think you truly can be brain dead, but still have the nervous system acting. You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. But when I say, like, brain death, it's like to a point where it's like the person will never wake up, they will never speak again, they're never conscious again. That's what I mean when I say brain death generally. Jeff is leaving to learn Japanese. See you, Jeff Jeffingson. I appreciate you being here. I like that the human body is just quintillions of organisms and bacteria living together. Yeah, it's very fascinating. All things considered. Tima Matane, says Jeff Jeffingson.
Nia Hopkins previously said I'd love to try a sensory deprivation tank. I've actually always thought that'd be really cool to try. I want to do one at some point.
I tried one, and I think I mentioned this one time on stream. I tried one, and it was just either there wasn't enough salt, or I didn't have enough body fat to properly float. So I just like awkwardly, like my body like half sank the entire time. And it was probably one of the most stressful experiences I've ever been in my life. Because if you get any of the water near your face or eyes, it's like hell. Because it's so salty. The nervous system does not need to ask the brain for instructions. That's what I kind of think. I think that is how it is working, you know. You can read hiragana a decent amount. Well, I can read hiragana, katakana, some kanji. Yeah.
I definitely remember you talking about that sensory deprivation tank before, though.
Yeah, my stream lagged trying what? The sensory deprivation tank. It's one of those tanks where it's like you're in a small room and there's a very highly concentrated amount of salt in the water. And the water is like room temperature, similar to like a human body's temperature. And so it's supposed to feel like you're like floating or relaxing. And to me, it was just mad stressful. Dark Virus says, Tado, where would you go to your honeymoon? Money not being a factor. Dark Virus said, let's get this show on the road. We're here for a romantic comedy. Dark Virus is so funny.
He's always just trying to bury me. Dark Virus, whenever he gets bored, is like, how can I make things difficult
exactly.
for
He's
Tado?
like, yawn, yawn. I remember you said about shrinking 300. Oh, Dark Virus. Unironically, do you swim often? I thought Dark Virus said he can't swim. But do you sink? I do ask. Because that is very quizzical question. Sensory deprivation tanks just look like taking a bath to me. That's what it was, like a terrible bath. It was like a terribly salty bath. I don't have enough body fat to float. Well, okay, so it's like the lower half of my body, so like my legs and ankles were like sinking because it's like you don't really have body fat on your ankles. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I was kind of like going sideways. You know what I mean? Turns off your senses, personally. It didn't work for me.
Debunked. What the fuck are you saying?
A hypoxia chamber? I've been tear gassed before.
That.
Oh. What did he say after that?
What the fuck is that?
Fartin? Listen
yeah,
here.
I've got
Is this one of those like ligma? Ligma, is that what that is?
That's all I can think, yeah.
Yeah. Hello, Neeby, how are you doing? Is this a date stream? No. Unless we're dating the chat. We're dating the chat right now. Actually, this is the big poly tool, guys.
Oh, no. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about when previously on the stream, it was asked where I'd like to go on a date with you, hypothetically. And I mentioned a nice little town called Frankenmuth. In Michigan.
Oh, good memory. Good memory, debunk, I will say. But that's
he just definitely
butchered that one a little
spelling
bit.
was way off there.
I can't swim, says Dark Virus. Okay, so now that being said, can you sink, though? I understand you can't swim, but can you sink? At your body fat percentage. For example, if you
I can sink.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely can. You're like nothing but like skin and bones. What is your weight, by the way?
I haven't weighed myself in a while.
All right, well, you should weigh yourself. For example, if you accidentally hold your hand over flame, sensory cells in the hand sends this nerve impulse up the arm. The spinal cord processes the impulse and immediately triggers a reflex. Okay, that's right. So I think like all the nervous stuff is in your spine, right? I think that's how it is. Causes your arm to pull away only afterwards. The signal reaches the brain where you become aware of the pain and movement. Oh, look at Garv. Garv, you're so smart. I'm so glad. You see all these idiots 24/7 in my chat, Garv. I am so glad I have someone who's somewhat educated around here. It's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough. I love Gorv. Gorv is my well-behaved Harvard boy. My Harvard son.
Yeah, Gorv is very intelligent.
I know. Look at him. Gorv, did you say again what you wanted to do? Wasn't it like engineering or something like that? What do you want to do when you get older? I can check in my pool. LOL, probably not. You know what I mean? Which low-key, like, you don't need to learn. You don't need to learn how to swim if you can, if you don't sink. Pool trips in Vegas are... Oh, yeah, technically. We can technically test it in Vegas. I don't think we really have anywhere deep, but we can see if, like, if he can just, like, you know what I mean, float.
Nia Hopkins said, just done my sketch of Chaosia. I'm on Tado now.
Aww,
Thank you.
Thank you, Nia Hopkins.
I can't wait to see it.
That's so kind of you. Hey,
And above that,
nice
Clone Commando said, that's true. Crispy Clee is a nice idiot. We love you, Crispy Clee.
So Crispy Clee, you're not an idiot. You're just an airhead. So an idiot to me is like intentionally just being dumb. Just intentionally making the dumbest decisions. So I kind of say like Leaf's kind of an idiot. Well, Tasado's an idiot. Like example, he was an idiot today for like literally thinking he could debate me on that. Debunk's an idiot. But you're just an airhead. You don't know what is right and what is wrong. And so therefore you can't be held accountable. So you're just like a little airhead. So you're definitely not dumb.
Clone Commando said, I can be nerdy, but y'all be bored immediately.
Oh, really?
I just want to say, you'd be very surprised what will entertain us here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm curious. Like, unless it's math, though, I'm really messed up about math. It's over. Am I an idiot? Absolutely. Timmy, you're so dumb. I think it takes like a level of like stupidity to be so funny. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know. You have to be smart to be funny at the same time. I think you're dumb. I think you're an idiot, but you're funny as hell. Funny as hell.
I think actually this will be a controversial point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Tim is that funny, but I think he knows how to make people laugh.
I think he's hilarious. Who do you think is the funniest here? Himari's also really funny. Timmy's really funny.
Because like, no, but I'm saying like, Tim is really good at making people laugh, but it's very intentional. He's not just like funny.
Oh, I mean,
and I think there's like a slight difference.
So like you would say he's a comedian rather than he's funny?
Yeah, like he knows how to make people laugh.
Okay, so it's
for sure.
But I mean, to me, okay,
yeah.
Whatever. The semantics of the word.
I mean, as far as like making people laugh go, yeah, no, he's fucking spot on.
Am I an idiot? Me, Chaos, and me, Dark Virus. Yeah, you're a great example of an idiot. Like you're very self-aware, but just something, whether it be the human desire for chaos, just overwrites your intelligence, and you make idiotic decisions. But you can learn. The most interesting idiot around here, I will say, or less the dumb person, is that one Leaf. He's so smart. Like, he's so quick to understand things, but he's also just dumb. And it is very fascinating. You know what I mean? I can feed you information about World War I or World War II for hours. I wanted to learn more about World War II, actually. A clone.
Clone Commandos. If you could contextually, where would you begin to explain the events that led to World War II happening?
Dark Viruses, Tasado's Inhaler, absolutely. Are you basing off
the only person I hate is Dark Virus.
Snark Virus? Snark Virus?
Yeah, we hate Snark Virus.
We love Dark Virus. We hate Snark Virus. I feel like I'm both an airhead and an idiot. Can you confirm that? Only I think I may have answered your question. You know what I mean? You're so like, to me, I think you just don't talk to enough people in a proper sense that you like gain value out of it. That you just don't like learn from your surroundings. Because like the times that I've talked to you on stream, you're very quick to like understand concepts that a lot of people can't do when it comes to being introspective about yourself. but then you make just some dumb decisions. So I don't know. Am I an idiot, Chaos? I wish to know. I don't think so.
Chalix42 definitely has the crown and king of being an idiot.
Who?
Who said, I have irrefutable proof I'm an idiot, did 5 years in the Air Force, and volunteered to end up at the worst base in my career field.
Okay, so wrong. Hold on. Hi, Jace to Ace. I was absent earlier. That's totally fine. I was just yelling at Tado for an hour and a half, and I beat him up. See, technically, the Air Force is the smartest branch to join the military, so I can't technically call you an idiot. However, I wonder what base you are talking about. Because I've been on some Air Force bases before. And I think we have one in here in Vegas called Nellis. I consider myself average. Stargazer, I'm coming for you. Stargazer, you will have your day, Stargazer. I'm coming for you. You've been hiding, Stargazer. I'm coming for you. That's all I have to say.
Oh no. Stargazer's going to get pulled into the light.
I want to be an idiot, says Nia Hopkins. You guys are so funny. Okay, so that's true. I'm surrounded by idiots in real life. Literally, I learn nothing all day. That's what it kind of feels like, because like you can grasp things very quickly. You just don't have an example in your life that can like teach you those things on a frequent basis so it sticks. You know, because like my dad's really good at like he's like good at communication like I am. I would say we're both like, I'd say almost on the equal level, but he has more wisdom behind him. So I learn a lot from him. But my mom, airhead, I learned nothing. I learned how to go nonverbal. In Nebraska, I don't even know where Nebraska. We hate Nebraska, says Timmy, though. Nellis Air Force Base is near Vegas. It's technically in Vegas. It's just, north. Is it north? Yeah, it's definitely north. It's like over there by the VA hospital. No, I'm sorry, says Stargazer. I'm coming for you, Stargazer. Your days are numbered. Your haha JKs, praying emoji. You have JK'd your last JK. Please not Stargazer. Guess my dad chose
Tim,
a good day to have his golf trip.
Stargazer?
Who's going to protect Stargazer?
Tim. Tim thinks he's protecting Stargazer.
All right, that means I have to go through Tim. I have to go through Tim first. Nebraska furniture. The thing is, I'm only surrounded by my mom, and I've told you about her. Yeah, because I don't know your circumstance. Because, like, me personally, because I do believe that one leave truly. And not in the, I'm trying to gas you up kind of way. But, you definitely are way more mature for your age. Because usually men don't get any semblance of maturity until they're, like, 25, I would say. What would you say, Tado?
Yeah, definitely, like 25 to 28 even.
Yeah, and you kind of have that level of maturity that one. You can go into your childish side every now and then, but you do have that level of maturity that some people can't grasp just yet. And I think again, if you just exercised it a little bit more, you would benefit. But what I was saying is like I also am like a little bit more mature than my age, so I've always hung out with like older people. So it might be one of those things where it's like even your like cohorts and your peers don't do much for you intellectually. Because I know my damn, like look at Tado, like look at this. This is the closest thing I have to a peer, and look at the absolute state of him. Tough.
Wait, what's wrong with the state of me?
Quite a lot, my dear. Quite a lot. So much time we have left,
Yeah,
Jace Ace. I don't know. We're just kind of chit chatting, doing whatever. Stargazer no longer has an under 25 buff. You know what I mean? What makes it worse is that I was left Patrick Air Force Base in Florida. Cape Canaveral. I always hear about Cape Canaveral, but I'm not really sure what that is. But I would have left Florida too, I'm not gonna lie. I know Stargazer long enough to tell you that this is how he's been for years. So yeah, sorry Stargazer, she's coming for you.
It's so over for Stargazer. Poor Stargazer, praying emoji, pensive.
Praying emoji, pensive. But don't forget to be a kid. Enjoy the time you have because it could lead to regret. Me personally, I think it just depends on the intentions and the goals of the person. Because me personally, I was just never into very, very childish things. Like, even when I was, like, again, like, 11, 13, which, again, it was rare at my age back in the day because, like, technology and, like, drawing and stuff like that was way harder to access. But I wanted to, like, improve myself on that level. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do the, like, I don't know, whatever, whatever, like, the normal kids do. So it's, like, it depends on your interest. Like, for example, Gorv is real young and is, like, damn near a, astrophysicist. Did he say what he wanted to do? Let me see if I missed it. It's hard to say. Maybe some kind of bleh. It's hard to say. Maybe some kind of engineering or biological engineer or something related to gene modification. Or pharmacist has already worked at a pharmacy. Look at Gorv. All I'm
He wants
saying
to
is
get a
that
job
one
where he
leaf.
makes the medication, doesn't want to deal with customers, which very reasonable as someone who used to work in a pharmacy.
I was about
Get
to
those
say, didn't you
people
work
the
there?
fuck away from me. Yes. Jesus.
I'm also chilling with Tado and he's a geezer. Yeah, I feel like you guys do really, really well on stream. And I think that's so funny because I think it says that proves how childish Tado is, but how mature you are.
What the hell?
Cape Canaveral NASA launch site. Ah, I see. I think I may have been there. I think I've been there. If I had the chance, I'd cryogenetically freeze myself. Does that mean like you'd be preserved and frozen until whatever? You know what I mean? Is that what that means? Alright, take over the chat. I'm doing something right now. Hold on.
Alright. Alright, chat. Where were we? Weird comment from Clone Commandos. We're ignoring that one. Alright. We're just yapping. Blame the main on Spain from Stargazer. Oh, Nia Hopkins says that they're tempted to put some ducks in the extra space in their sketchbook.
Oh.
We love the ducks. JCA said, oh, wait, I missed it. You know that song, Total Eclipse of the Heart? No, I do not. My dad told me that when he was younger, he and his friends sung it as Total Eclipse of the Fart. Thank you.
Solid commentary from Chase Ace. We love to see it. Oh, Tasado's a bird.
Thank you,
kind?
JCA.
What kind of bird are you, Tasado?
I am a crow.
There you go. Imagine being talented. I could never. You can. To me, talent is just like the optical illusion of being incredibly skilled. And in order to be skilled, you have to put a lot of time and effort into things. So I say you are a talented comedian, Timmy. I would say. You know what I mean?
Hey, Tim, have you ever done stand-up? Like open mic night or something? Actual question.
Not for real, though.
You'd be surprised what'll make the average person just bust out laughing, and they will pay tons of money for it.
Yeah. I was actually thinking going for a bachelor in satellite technology, then get a master's, become a rocket engineer, but I would not be able to get a job like that in Norway. Yeah, would you ever go to America? Isn't that like a big thing? Man,
Get an H-1B.
get American. Listen here, Gorv. Get an American citizenship and join the military. I'm
Join the
stealing
Space
people.
Force.
Yeah, I'm stealing people from other countries for our American military.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. The Space Force might pay for a satellite technology degree.
That's true. Hi, N. Nice bird, says N. Tasado can wield the childishness and maturity. I don't think he really has a choice. I think he wants to be mature, but he's too childish for it to go through the full way. So I don't think he really does it intentionally. I think it's just him. Have you seen The Crow?
Yeah, that's just me.
Talent sounds so nice. That one Leaf is fishing for compliments and saying, guys, do I have any talent? Do I have any talent, guys? Oh, God, I gotta do something.
Tim, honestly, I definitely understand that. It's a lot easier to just like situationally bounce off of circumstances and whatnot to to be funny or to make people laugh, but being stand-up where they're just up there with nothing to work with,
Yeah, you have to like recite
making
stuff.
it's crazy. Yeah, I'm like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, remember the guy I was telling you about, Andrew Kowalski?
Yeah.
He does stand-up comedy.
How well did that go for him?
I don't know. He's a great guy. I gotta get him on this channel sometime. He's so fascinating, to say the least.
Has his mom sabotaged his stand-up comedian
I
career?
don't know. All right, save this. I rarely use the
I
word
love that
talented.
guy.
Implies inherent skill rather than learned skill. Yeah, but I think when people say you're so talented, they don't mean it with malice. So of course I'm not going to say they're trying to do this maliciously. I think they're just trying to give you a compliment. It just comes off a little, if you're like, oh, well, the definition of talent, you know what I mean? It's a skill. So I think 9 times out of 10, when someone says you're so talented, they're acknowledging your skill. That's my opinion of it. If I disagree with your terminology of talent, all right, tell me what you think that one, Leaf. I gotta do these
Debunk
edits
said,
real
I
quick.
always like when comedians did crowd work. It's a great skill that doesn't get appreciated enough. I agree. I feel like I've never been to a comedy show, but if I went to a comedy show and they're just up there, just reciting the same, like, jokes or whatever, like, it's funny, but I could just watch that. But, like, a comedian that can work off the crowd and the energy and deal with, like, your hecklers and everything, I think they're way more interesting to be able to run comedy more improv style.
Yeah, more engaging for sure.
Yeah.
All right, keep reading chat. I'm trying to do something real quick.
Gorv said, "You're wrong. You're a loser, Chaosia. I like being alive. Fuck the military, and I'm not going to put my grandchildren into debt to pay for my American schooling."
Oh, that is not what he said. Jesus Christ. I like being alive. Gorb,
No.
nobody, like, it's
No.
very rare, like, there are people on the ground anymore. Jesus.
Gorb said, I like being alive and not making my grandchildren pay my debt to school.
That's so funny. Okay, well, like, if you're talented enough in America, and especially in the military, they pay for everything for you. It's kind of how, like, Homeboy, what's his name? Hayu, that's how he gets so much accolades and stuff like that. They just pay for everything. You know, they pay for all of Hayu's training and stuff like that and his pilot license. That was so funny, though. Alright, where the hell is my PNGs?
Also, I'm sorry for disappointing you, Jace the Ace. You said, also, Tado, you've never heard of the song Total Eclipse of the Heart? I'm disappointed in you, and to that I'm sorry, Jace the Ace. Who's it by? If you could tell me that, maybe I'll listen to it when I have a chance. And Stella, no, I have not seen the Space Force commercials that are like, hey gamers, do you like space? But that's very on brand for the military.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it. Yeah, it was kind of like, I was like, oh, I wanna do military related stuff. And then I'm like, I forgot how cringy the military is, well, never mind.
Blue Commando said, my talent is autism. Cannot relate.
Cannot relate.
Yeah, I definitely.
Are you sure about
I do
that?
not. Yep. I don't even know what autism means.
Oh god, you got one thing. You're like, here's a title I can run with. That's what the problem with you people are. Like, again,
What's
you
that?
get one title and you're like, I'm gonna milk this into the ground. I only said a quarter of that, says Gorb. Gorb is so cute.
I
He's like,
love
let me
Gorb,
politely set the record straight.
Gorv also was explaining to Jace the Ace about Norway's school system. They get 13 years of school, and then 3 years for their bachelor's, and then 2 years for the master. All free. Well, taxpayer funded, rather.
That is crazy.
And Stella said, calling somebody talented is meant to be a compliment, but most people feel it's an unintentional downplay of practice.
I mean, sure. Most people who want to be like, have like a negative, you know what I mean? Like, most people, I don't know about most people. Like, I mean, I think of the charity of people before I think of like, oh, they're trying to insult me. I mean, that sounds like very Twitter speak, as in like, let me misconstrue what you're saying and make it be negative. But I think again, like average people, when you speak like to them in person, they definitely don't mean it that way. Like people are not going to come up to you and say like, "Oh, let me make fun of you." You know what I mean? I think that misconception that like everyone's out to like secretly harm everyone. I think that's a really a very internet only thing, in my opinion.
Tim and Debunked accidentally revealed that they're both using ChatGPT to reply, because both of them mentioned that personalized crowd work is more unique. Use the same wording, so you know it's just ChatGPT.
Really? Oh, brother. That is so funny.
So Tim's only funny because he uses ChatGPT. He goes, ChatGPT, what's a funny response for this situation? Now the truth is out.
That is so funny. Oh, brother. Better than the USA. Another reason I want to get into politics is to change the education system. That is a true statement.
Oh, wait. Leaf responded to you.
Oh, what did he
Since
say?
a person doesn't have talent in everything they put time and effort into, I think interests and abilities within the thing you're trying to learn are what matter more than just the time you put in. I think this is in reference to the talent terminology.
Okay, where did he say that?
Right under where Gorv said I only said a quarter of that.
Okay, hold on. Since a person doesn't have talent in everything they put time and effort into, I think the interest ability within the thing you're trying to learn are what matters more than just the time you put in. Or is that just like is this an opposition to anything I've said, or is this just like a kind of fun fact? You know what I mean? I'm not really sure. Space Force is not a real branch, agreed. There are several Air Force commands bigger than the Space Force. Listen here, you want to talk about bigger? Who has the bigger Air Force? Chillax 42? The Navy? Or the Air Force? I don't think any Air Force people need to be talking about that. That's somewhat what I meant. I think everything wants, but not everyone has. I hate generative eyes, says Neil Hopkins. I think more so with creatives where it's like, no, I spent so long to learn this. No, I agreed. I think creative individuals are the more likely to be neurotic and extremely sensitive. I think that's personally the case. A lot of artists, and I've kind of talked about this before, they get really emotional about their art because I do believe you have to have a level of emotion. I'd even go as far as say emotional instability in order to kind of effectively create artwork. So yeah, they're very, very, very testy. You know what I mean? But it's just like to think that like someone is going to be like insulting you like out of nowhere. I think again, that's just if you want to see life that way, you know, I guess be your guest, that kind of thing. Grok, how do I make people laugh? That Grok stuff. Xander Cage, how are you doing? For all you know, we're all bots. I'll take it either way. I'll talk to bots all day. I don't mind.
JCA said he got ChatGPT to help him rediscover a cartoon he saw when he was younger. What cartoon is that, Jace the Ace?
Yeah, that is really cool.
That is interesting. Yeah, you know, that's actually... I never thought about using AI for that. When people are always like, I can kind of remember something, and they would like try to describe it to their best of the ability.
I do that all the time. I did that with a broken headsets I had. I only had like a picture of an old like speakerphone, because it was broken, and it was like helping me figure out what it is.
That's cool. Cartoon in question was
hold on. The Air Force has the largest air force. No, air fleet. As far as air fleet, the Navy has the largest air force. Air Force not being brand named, as in the Air Force, but an Air Force. The Navy has a larger Air Force. Gotcha. That's what I think talent is, since I said I disagree with your terminology. Oh, you think talent is liking something? I'd have to go back and kind of find, once again, you think... Perhaps
regenerate like you're not ESL.
Yeah, I think I'm a little confused. Gorv says, can you tell us about your
Mm.
experience working at a pharmacy? I wish to even compare. I wish to compare working. I love how he says that. I wish to compare working at an American
Working at an American
pharmacy
pharmacy,
and a
the
Norwegian one.
Norwegian one.
Wait, hold on. Jace Ace,
It-
say K. Have you ever met a Muslim before? Jace the Ace, I've been deployed to the Middle East. I have lived with the Muslims, Jace the Ace. The morning prayer and stuff like that in the Middle East, there's multiple times a day that there's giant megaphones that come over the city speakerphones. That is so fascinating. How they have such loud speakerphones across the entire country. You can hear the morning prayer and stuff like that. And I've been there during Ramadan, Jace the Ace. We couldn't show any skin. Any inappropriate skin, especially for women. You can't wear closed fitting clothes. You can't be drinking or eating in public.
Inappropriate skin is like what, like knee? Like
yeah.
It's like crazy.
We had
strict,
yeah,
right?
we had
it's not even like inappropriate.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I think we had to have our wrists covered and stuff like that. So yes, I have JCs. Right, go ahead. I'm still finishing my stuff real quick.
I guess I can respond to Gorv. A quick rundown of working at an American pharmacy. In America, I don't know how it is in Norway at all, but the biggest hurdle we have is that everything is at the mercy of the insurance companies here. So it's a lot of just fighting back and forth on the computers with insurance companies for deductibles, copays, that kind of thing. It's an absolute ton of paperwork. Like you get one prescription called in and then it's just, all right, time to contact the insurance company and do paperwork for the next hour. It's absolutely awful. But and then they set the price, so people will come in and they don't know their own insurance policy, which fair. They're intentionally complicated to stop people from knowing them. And so then they come in, they don't know how much they're going to pay. So it's like they could be coming in to pay $20. They could be coming in to pay $400 for the exact same medication, depending on where they are in their plan. And then if it's like obscene, then they can pull out like GoodRx or one of the other things, and then they'll get it back down to like $50 or something, just as an example. It's absolutely atrocious. And because of that situation, people get very heated because who wants to pay $400 for a medication you paid $20 for 3 months ago?
Yeah, that's fair. All right. I'll BRB, so like obviously like talk and stuff like that. I gotta type this up and I can't like
all right.
You know what I mean? I can't mess up, so BRB.
Yeah. I'll just entertain chat. All right, chat, we're chilling now. All right, where was I? Oh, Stella mentioned, I think that'll be better when she's back. I'll mention her to read that. Xander Cage said, perfectly fine. Glad you could be here to join the live. All right. And then, what about UK? Cool. We don't care about Tado, the bird. I got you, Xander Cage. It's all right. I'll remember that. Phantom Crustacean says, hey there, Color Splash and Baritone Corvid. How are we doing today? I'm doing fantastic. Thank you, Phantom Crustacean. I appreciate the Baritone Corvid response. Or title, rather. Sorry. That's hilarious, Stella. But that shirt that she posted for that 4th of July thing was absolutely hilarious. I love that shirt. Jace the Ace mentions that his father hates Muslims, even though his father says he doesn't. Jace the Ace is sure that he does. Very interesting. I'm still curious why you think that, Jace the Ace. If he says he doesn't, I would assume that means his actions have shown that he does. Damn, she is looking at me with discontent right now. Tim says, Ramadan's crazy. I remember I taught English to Afghans while they were on Ramadan. They still fed you. Well, Tim, do you mind if I ask, what were you doing that led to you teaching English to Afghans? Did you serve at some point? I'm actually not. I don't remember if you did. I'm very curious. Stargazer asked thoughts on frozen yogurt. Frozen yogurt is all right. It's worse than ice cream, better than sherbet, and significantly worse than good frozen custard. Frozen custard, absolute best if it's good. Put to sketch 2K of fan art in Discord. I don't know if I should finish it or not. I will say you should finish it. Absolutely, Nia. I haven't looked at it, but I agree that it should always be finished. It's cool. It's always good to finish work. Clone Commandos asks, when's the US going to use the metric system? We already kind of do. We're stubborn, but we definitely already use it to some extent. Between, we do use a fair amount of things in meters. We use millimeters. I can buy socket wrenches in millimeters and in inches. 9mm ammo, very famously for guns, etc., etc. We have a lot of metric that's secretly, or like, if you ever buy soda in this country, you buy 2 liters, like that kind of thing. Our water bottles, what are they? Anyone remember? I think they are 16.9 fluid ounces, but it's half a liter. That kind of thing. They hide it, but it's there. All these free healthcare Europeans trying to flex. Get new material. Oh. Interesting. That's interesting, Corey. Yeah, because the base price for medication in America is so obscenely high that if you don't have insurance, you just straight up couldn't even afford it. It's one of the things that the current president ran on to try and allegedly fix, but, it's a politician, so it is what it is.
How have you been faring?
I've been faring well. I'm a little slow trying to catch up.
I'm a little slow. You could have ended the sentence there.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm a lot slow. And Chaosia makes fun of me for my mental disability live on stream.
Your mental disability. You're so funny.
Nia Hopkins says that sketching me reminds them how much they like drawing birds.
Aww.
Thank you, Nia Hopkins.
I know, low key. I'm like, I should draw him
I love birds.
A way better bird PNG. I thought about it, low key, because me being pictured with this child concoction. I don't know if it's really good. I don't know if it's a really good visual. You know what I mean?
Dark Virus asked if I've ever seen the Vin Diesel movie XXX. I have.
I've never even heard of that.
It's just like it's like a really dumb brain off action movie. I saw it on TV once when I was really young. Or twice. But if you like brain off action, it's great.
Brain off action?
Gorf was teaching. Yeah, where it's just like the plot literally doesn't fucking matter. It's just there for like action scenes and explosions.
Okay, so like Marvel movies.
Yeah, basically. Gorf was explaining how the how medication and that kind of thing works in Norway.
Very
much better.
Fascinating.
Might be a surprise, but I will say the insurance companies in America are bad enough that we've had vigilante justice within the last year. So,
what are your thoughts on that?
Respect.
Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping we could do a debate about that, like whether or not that was justified. But again, I think like we kind of see the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you choose the bird over the dog? Yeah, he really likes the crows.
I love crows.
So next time Deborah comes on stream, I think we could have Deborah on stream one day. I think that'd be fun. I think we have Leaf on stream too one day. What?
Sorry, I was very interested in this. So Tim, what kind of situation led to you helping out with refugees to teach them English and stuff? Was it just like a volunteer program, or
was it a missionary trip?
Was it just for fun?
Their prescriptions are
Nia
empty.
said you looked high.
I looked high probably when I left. Definitely. It was funny. Like if you saw me move for a second, I was sitting all the way on my bed, and my model still tracks from all the way back there. And I was like, wow, that's kind of impressive. Have you watched Squid Game? Me personally, yes. I thought it was pretty good, but it was very, very, very predictable. You know what I mean? It's like, it was just like, for example, like I knew that girl wasn't going to die, wasn't going to win, but she wasn't going to die either. So she died of like natural causes. Who is this? A Yomi. It's a Nomi.
Hi, Yomi. Hi, Yomi.
Hey, Yoms. Did you hear that? Yomi. Oh, I don't think you heard that. She's such a tiny meower. Yomi. Yeah, she just... Crosato's too perfect.
Oh. Phantom Crustacean. Leaf. Leaf has free healthcare, but he's not like the... He's not trying to do the Canadian free healthcare flex. It's European. Wrong kind of Leaf. I saw the mention of I saw the mention of Maple Leaf and how those long lines doing, and was just very confused as to what the hell that meant. So that's the explanation.
Lots optional when stupidity exists, like with Disney, Star Wars. All these like new movies. I've just never been a movie fanatic. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not fictional. Yomi just came in. I just moved the door, and now she wants out. I'm so sick of cats. I'm so sick of you. She's very cute, though. I'm back. Had a phone call. Welcome back, Stargazer. When do you wanna... when do you wanna get started, Stargazer? I'm coming for you. Oh, but Yomi's smart enough to open the door, at least. How am I number 2 just by leaving? This little point system is whack. That's how. I was so sad when 67 wasn't gonna win. She was my favorite contestant. I think I know who you're talking about. The main girl who ended up in number 3. That's cats, you know what I mean? Yomi.
Tim, the only way you can protect Stargazer is to explain what you were doing that led you to teaching the refugees. Because I asked him if it was like in the Middle East. He said he was helping refugees, so that's stateside. So I'm just curious what you were doing.
I think there's refugees everywhere, though. Not just like in the Middle East, I would say, unless he said specifically in the Middle East.
Well, he said Afghan, or he was teaching English to Afghans. And so I asked if he was like deployed or in the Middle East or something like that, if he was in the military. He said it was refugees, so I'm assuming it was stateside then. So very curious what he was doing. Like, it had to be some interesting volunteer work.
Yeah. Have you seen only one season or only 3? I saw only one season. I'm not a big movie person, you know what I mean? Is there any way to not be a target? Show that you're able to improve on your own, Stargazer. That's the way. That's the way. Timmy, your profile picture is Soda Popinski from Punch-Out. Oh, Yomi. She's getting the door open. Oh, God. And here comes Maddie,
Very Jace the Ace-coded comment.
Right. I'm a refugee, JK. How are you doing, by the way, Dark Virus, with your drama? You know what I mean? Are you coming in?
Oh. Hey, Kozia.
What's up?
Stella, while you were gone, mentioned that one of their Air Force guys they know was shocked you made the 4th of July fit tweet and said, I can't interact with this at all. They're watching me for sure.
I bet I know who it was. But that's so funny. Yeah, they didn't. There was another shirt I posted and they're like, I could never wear that on base. And I'm like, yeah, I was like a shit poster in the military. But I love that shirt so much.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. Are you coming in or not?
Yeah, sure. I'll come in.
Oh, God. She's like sitting in the door. Cats are so annoying. Oh, so I was living in a college in Salem at the time, capital of Oregon, and we had an organization that helped bring in refugees. I wanted a TESOL teacher coming out of college, so I wanted some experience. There you go, Tersado.
Okay.
I'm doing okay.
What is TESOL?
Yeah, that is interesting. I'm doing okay. I think I did it.
I think my friend does that. He teaches English over in South Korea. I think that's just like the technical term for like teaching English second language something. I don't know. I don't know what it means. Yeah, okay. Cool.
You think you did it, Dark Virus. Hopefully that's the case.
I hope so, Dark Virus. Yeah, my buddy, he used to go on missionary trips with his church to
Mhm.
go to Mexico, and they would teach English down there. And he would go once a year. And then once he finished college, he used all that experience on his resume and went straight to South Korea. And he's been teaching English there for 7 years, 8 years, somewhere in there. He was going to stop. He was going to leave Korea because he only wanted to do a couple of years, and then he was going to go to other countries. And then COVID hit. So he got locked down in Korea.
Oh. That's fair. Who else around here thinks baby hippos are cuter than baby humans? I'd have to agree, Jace Ace, but I never really... Do you guys think babies are cute? Because there's not a single part of me that thinks a baby is cute. You know
I
what mean?
think like once they're like infants, you know, like once they're like when they're like just baby, they're okay. But once they're like able to like like a 1-year-old or something like that, like En said, like they can become cute around there. But once they're like 3, then they start becoming really cute to me.
Really? I mean, I think like whenever they start saying things, I think they're pretty cute, but babies are
Yeah.
ugly. This is Dark Virus, the father of two.
I have a if I need to find it and show it to you. I've got to figure out where I put it. I think I have it. I don't know if I have it or if my biological father has it, but there's an actual baby photo of me. I look like a fucking alien. Absolutely grotesque. I would have abandoned me too if I looked like that.
Good God. I mean, were you disfigured? Like, what made you so strange?
I don't know. I was like fucking wrinkly and ugly. Damn.
I really
barely
like to
looked
see
human.
this. I'd like to see this photo
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I gotta find it. Yeah, like I do not blame him for abandoning me when I look like that.
Good God. You're so funny. That only please stop being goated. I think
He said
kittens are
he'd
cute,
punt
but
a
any
baby.
baby at all, like, this does nothing for me. Yeah. I didn't like kittens for the longest time until I was like, I realized they're just small cats, and I'm like, that is the cutest thing ever. But I didn't like kittens for the longest time.
Also, Stargazer was hilarious, saying some babies look cute and some look unique.
Unique. That's a good one. A unique
That's
baby.
even funnier because earlier Stargazer was complimenting us by calling us all unique. So now I know what unique means to Stargazer.
Ah, that is true. I was born really
Let me
tiny,
quote
like
that.
fit in your palm tiny, so premature? I wonder, do you know what weeks? I used to know a lot about pregnancy. So I
will.
wonder. We'll see. I was responding to N.
Stargazer.
Uh-huh.
I will quote Stargazer's previous compliment with the new knowledge of what unique means. And it was, to be fair, I admire you all. Each one of you have a unique quality that makes you stand out.
Oh, God.
All of you guys are funny, sweet, caring, and all have an amazing secret skill or knowledge.
Oh, that
With
makes
the new
more
knowledge,
sense now.
it makes a lot more sense. Thank you, Stargaze.
Poor wrinkly Tado. Poor wrinkly Tado. That sounds horrible.
Poor wrinkly Tado. Also, Dowin Leaf asked if I was a nutsack child. All of us were. What does that mean? He was making fun of me for being wrinkled. But we all come from the nutsack at the end of the day.
I see. I haven't seen the photo of someone I know as a baby and they look like Satan himself placed in hell in her eyes. That's interesting. I always would like, man, that'd suck like if you had a kid and it was just like mad ugly. Because it's like, you know, it's like you can tell when a baby's ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
no, admittedly, like sometimes they get lucky as they grow, but yeah, like 9 times out of 10. You can tell. I mean? Like at birth, are they cooked?
You know what I mean? So imagine like having like an ugly child. You know it's ugly because it's just like, you know, it's just ugly. And then everyone's like, oh, it's so cute. And like, you know, they're lying through their teeth.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be rough. Man, I love this place as that one leaf. Who else here thinks that missionaries are horrible, Jace the Ace? I don't know, Jace the Ace. I don't know. I think it depends on the missionary,
Oh.
like most circumstances, J Stace.
Also, howdy, Matt Maeda. I totally missed that was you complimenting, saying poor wrinkly Tosado because it's such a Stargazer comment. I just mentally associated it as Stargazer.
It's hilarious. Not exactly premature, it's just tiny. Wow, that's very fascinating. Oh, you know what was funny? Okay, so I just have as far as my stature, I have a very big head, all things considered. Like it's very round, and funny enough, I think that's why I technically look so young, because that's usually the features is you have a larger head from your body ratio. But it was so apparent when I was an infant. My mom said that they had to monitor me for a couple weeks after to make sure my head wasn't growing so large because of a tumor. So they had to make sure. They're like, wow, this looks almost medically incorrect. Let's keep an eye on that. And that's not the case. I just have a big head.
You just have a giant head.
Yeah, just a giant head. I was born premature. Really, Gorv? That's interesting. That's really interesting. Did any of you guys have heart murmurs in chat? Any heart murmur havers in chat? I know my brother had a heart murmur, where it's like a little pinhole in your heart, but it heals over time. As a kid, I would break toys the moment my relatives bought them for me. Oh, God. That sounds like you may have had a rough childhood, because usually kids don't do that unless, I mean, they can, of course, but it could be indicative of a tough childhood. Jay says so funny.
I have no idea how much I weighed at birth, though.
Me? I think it's 9 pounds, 7 ounces. Maybe that's what it is. Tumor baby LMAO. As long as you don't have a Rihanna levels of forehead. Low-key, so it's not that. I do have very, circular features. And I did have a huge forehead when I was younger. But I think I grew into them. Because I think over time, your brow shortens as you get older. But I did have a very big forehead that I used to get made fun of as a kid. I was 6 weeks early and got cut out from the C-section. A cesarean section, I think it's called. Baby, wow.
Were you still in forehead territory? Did they used to call you five-head?
Yeah, all that stuff. And it didn't help that I would slick my hair back. Good God. It was tough back in my day because it's obviously I'm mixed. And my mother is white. So she doesn't really, doesn't have the really best grasp on mixed hair and stuff like that. And so man, I suffered with hair problems until I was probably senior year of high school.
When you started doing it yourself,
yeah,
or got yourself the knowledge needed to handle it.
Yeah, exactly. Because is there certain hair brushes that it'll just brush my curly hair and it'll just poof up, and so it's just it was tragic. 13 pounds at birth. Stark virus.
Did you ever have a afro when you were young?
No, never. I have just
never poofed up into afro.
Have you ever seen a I don't know, stereotypical Caribbean women? Is they have really curly hair. You know what I mean? They have tan skin, curly hair.
I think I know you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that level of curly, where it's almost wavy curly, but it's more curly than it is wavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it is. I was in grams.
You were really wow, you were so premature, Gorv.
I don't know how many grams that is. I was born premature at 8 months, I believe. I guess
Let's see, that's just shy of, that should be 9 months. Roughly 4 pounds, I think.
4 pounds. Wow, Gorv.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, you have curly hair too. I wish I had curly hair.
Per kilogram.
I hated my curly hair for the longest time because again, I didn't know how to handle it, so it really, really sucked.
Did I do my math right?
Say again?
I'm trying to think if I did my math right, because I think it's 2.2 for a kilogram, so 4 point. Yeah, I'll say it was roughly 4 pounds or so. That should be right.
Man,
I was pretty close.
4.1 pound. That is crazy. How tall are you now, Gore, if I do ask? Especially for being male. I wonder how that turned out. My hairs are straight, but they have a singular curve. I wonder if it's where your cowlick is. Because I know a lot of men have that, like, little cowlick thing. You know what I mean?
Cowlicks and whirls and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I have the opposite, where my mom would always try to style my hair, but my hair does not take any curling or anything. Pin straight. Ah, I see. That's really funny. Yeah, it was really tough. And so it's like, I used to... Did you guys ever, like, put your head in the underneath the faucet and, like, rinse off your hair and then go to school? Did you ever do that? Excuse me. Tado, are
I'm
you
trying
still
to
there?
think. I probably have.
Good God. Only I can do the funny timed pauses.
Only you? Did you file the trademark on it?
I did actually, before I even published it.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I don't want to get sent to I don't want to deal with that copyright.
Exactly, I'm very litigious. Tado left OMG. You know what I mean, Dark Virus?
I can tell.
I know how to get you to shut up, Tado. So watch yourself. Watch yourself at all times.
You can't get me to shut up. I can talk as much as I'd like.
Dark Virus, he had the audacity to say, I can't get him to shut up. Can you believe that? Trust me. I mean, the thing is, like, I'll let you make a humiliation of yourself on your stream, but maybe not here. It is funny in your stream where you're dead silent.
I'm dead silent half the time.
All right, I'm out of here, Jace the Ace. See you later, Jace the Ace. I appreciate you being here.
You don't want to see it, Tim. I almost cried. It was bad.
How can you get him to shut up? So Tado is a card holder. So anything that's a little stronger than Tado, you're cute. And even then, that kind of does damage.
It does. It makes me smile. Thank you.
Yeah, like you can hear it. Anything more than that, and he literally short circuits and goes nonverbal.
And where's the problem?
It is so funny. You just go nonverbal. Like Dark Virus, you saw it. You saw it that one time. He just sat there in silence. I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. If I remember correctly,
that one
I
definitely...
I see.
I definitely bit off more than I can chew with that one that time.
10 minutes silence. I think it was like literally, I gotta go back and see if I could find the timestamp. I think it was like literally like 5 minutes of silence. I was like, I felt bad now.
I don't think it was 5 minutes. It was like 3 minutes.
Which is still wild. Speechless for 3 minutes. Do you remember what it was? What was it, Tado, that made you so speechless?
I don't remember. I'm a pretty forgetful guy, so
you don't remember.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Interesting. So maybe I should go back right now and see if I can find it and repeat it.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be. Maybe that'll
I remember exactly what it was, Dark Virus. I remember exactly what it was. Not Tado. I'm in the same boat. I know how it feels. Oh God. You hear that, Tado? You're in great company around here. You sound like a turkey when you laugh. I can hear it. I can hear it low key. I can hear the turkeys.
You sound like a turkey?
Yeah. Like, have you ever heard the turkeys? They're like...
A little bit.
Low key. Alright, we used to have wild turkeys in Tennessee.
I get wild turkeys around me.
Really? That's interesting.
Okay, yeah. Not like a ton of them or anything, but a little bit.
I remember what I won't say? Yeah, I remember exactly what it is, though. That's a little much, KO. What is a little much? What is a little much, I asked.
Look at Debunk telling you how to run your own live stream. What's this guy thinking?
Yeah, that is true. Do I have any material against Debunk that I can use as fodder right now to launch an attack? Let me think. Oh, other than the reason, like, you have no reason to be insecure Debunked. You're dumb for that. We had a lot of wild turkeys in Connecticut. They just be walking down the street. That's hilarious. We also had a lot of peacocks, wild peacocks in Tennessee. Debbie, that's an easy one.
Damn, Leaf, so true. Debunk started getting cocky as soon as there was a chance of a collab for him.
Ah, that is true.
You know how men are with those egos.
I know.
They get attention from you and their ego.
Wild. They get one little peak of attention. It goes straight to their head.
Not me though. I'm
not
different
you,
from the rest of
them.
us.
Not you, of course. Man, what
would never happen to me.
I need content ideas.
I need content ideas.
I'm so close to just giving up streaming completely because I'm like, ugh, is it even worth the hassle? You know what I mean? You want another collab, Dark Virus? Can you imagine we just bring Dark Virus up here right now?
Oh, and then we both get to blast him and see how he's actually doing with BPD Girl. We can like tag team.
I think he's doing pretty good, all things considered. He was really smart to go take his little, Tennessee trip to get his mind off of it. I'm content, I'm cool, says that one Leaf. All right, tell me how you're interesting. And I will disagree or agree. Tado's different.
Also, Tim in my corner saying I am different. Thank you, Tim. Real recognizes real.
Oh, brother. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta take care of something. Read the chat.
Read the chat. Yeehaw, says Dark Virus. Stella saying, stream ideas, trying to come up with something. Gorf said he knows what to do. When all else fails, duck game. Stargazer then chimes in, duck game. Leaf says, I'm basically an awkward content farm because I'm weird. That's my shtick, so.
I think that's everyone's shtick,
sucks
though.
To suck. Yeah.
Alright, we're good to go. Duck game. The duck game is so boring, though. I almost rebought it on Switch.
Your home was pretty okay at Chaosia.
Your home was pretty okay. My home? Oh, okay. Nah, it's like bumfuck nowhere, let's be real. You wanted to learn World War II from Tado, right?
Right, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever happened to our history guy? Where'd he go? I haven't seen him in a while. Clone Commandos. I don't remember if he ever responded when I asked where he would start to explain the context of the events that lead up to World War II.
Kayla should play some old classic Flash games. Let me see if I can find that on Mac. You know how it is out
Honestly,
here.
Leaf, that wasn't worth a try. You should try harder or try again.
Flash games.
When will we both be streaming together next?
when
Probably the day
both?
of my execution.
Oh, wait, why are we executing you?
I don't know. I just assume that's when we'll stream together again. Or perhaps, we'll see. Anytime she's up to have me, I'm up for it.
Desperate. We do just chatting.
Yes.
It got so bad that I need another person for just chatting. Just chatting.
Yup. You were like, I can't do this. You're like, I can't do this. Tough. When I need to pay attention to Tado, you just read chat to me and you react.
Exactly. It's perfect.
Oh, hey, Clone Commandos, I missed that answer. Can you reply that again?
Look at these.
I just realized, I was like, oh yeah, I asked that, and then I noticed that I didn't remember it, so I don't remember if I responded to it. Tim said, I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't even comprehend Tado's World War II question. Tim, you're lucky you're my number 2 fan.
Where would you start if you were going to start explaining the history of World War II? Is that kind of what you're asking?
Well, it's to contextualize the war, you have to contextualize what led up to it, right? So I was just curious where somebody who's a huge fan and that's like his nerd center would start.
Oh yeah, I guess you can play Flash games on here.
Nia Hopkins said, just asking because I'm off to bed soon and haven't finished the drawing.
Ah, I see. I'm not sure when, but either way, we're always both in the Discord, you know?
Matt says he would contextualize World War II around Pearl Harbor. That happened in the middle of World War II.
Yeah. Wasn't that what they call it, the turning point of the war?
That was when, like, as far as America's involvement goes, that still wasn't even the beginning, truly. But yeah, that was definitely just like a midpoint.
Very fascinating. It's like I want to like somehow like learn stuff, but it's like how would I learn stuff on stream? You know what I mean? Because I need to understand the brain more, so I need to do more studying for that. I'd say Poland, says Clone.
You would say Poland. So you would contextualize the start of World War II only beginning directly at the invasion of Poland from Germany and not the events that led up to that. Or the situation that leads to the dictator Hitler getting elected and then becoming a dictator. Which does bring into question, who's the philosopher, you might know this, that created or questioned the democracy paradox? Which is it against democracy as a whole to allow the public to vote in a dictator that will strip them of their democracy?
What was the question?
It's the democracy paradox. Like, it's just, the idea is it democratic to allow the public to vote in a dictator that will strip them of their own democratic rights?
I would say yes, until of course the rights are stripped, and then no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why it's the quote unquote democracy paradox.
Oh, I see. I see.
Who
I
was
thought
that?
Dark versus Thirst Trap Simulator. Studying tech
Chantal
games.
Mouffe.
Yeah, I literally got a Switch and was like, okay. That was it. I need to learn how to plug it into the capture card, because yeah, then we can do that. You know what I mean?
No, that's not the person. Damn.
Okay, so what was the question? I just needed it repeated. You mean Karl Marx? Karl Marx.
No, it was like an actual philosopher, because he brought up that one, and there were two others that he was marginally famous for as well. I just can't remember the name. It's actually bothering me now.
What the? Oh, sorry, I'm looking at something real quick. All right, read the chat.
Sorry,
I'm
I'm
taking care of
trying
something.
No, I was trying to look it up. All right. Where are we at? Oh, okay. Matt talking about love in deep space. Stella says got a Switch, played Watermelon Game. True.
That is true.
Any Tetris lovers?
I do love me some Tetris.
Dark Virus said it's getting bored. Or Dark Virus said I'm getting bored. Let me try to put pressure onto Tado again. Stargazer said flawed reasoning. Most democracies are made well, others are horrible, like the USA. People unfit to run end up in power and become so two-faced.
This is why I fucking can't stand you. This is why I cannot stand you, Stargazer. Because every
and then says JK sorry.
Every now and then you have a moment of lucidity where I'm like, wow, this is a well-rounded, educated person who's a little bit more substance than JK sorry. And then JK sorry's it. And then it just disappears.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was actually like, ooh, that could be fun to dig in with. Because I was going to say, if they're unfit to run, then how do they win? Like, who are you to judge
Ooh.
the public as a whole? The point of democracy is that majorities.
Okay, I think I got everything. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Okay. I was just editing something. Yes, I'm a Tetris lover because I like putting pieces where they fit tightly, says Matt Maeda. Me too. I'm pretty good. I don't say I'm good at Tetris, but I do want to play Tetris. Yeah, I think that's the next stream I'm going to do. I got to figure out how to plug in my Switch.
Hell
And
yeah.
just have Tetris streams. Alright, we got that. I got that. Alright, okay. Let me see. Hold on. I gotta see if this works.
Dang. Stargazer, you almost had a good point, and then you said JK sorry.
Okay.
Lone Commando says democracy is the easiest system to flaw and corrupt. And to that, I would say you are extremely historically ignorant.
Wait,
If you're not aware, saying that democracy is the system to flaw and corrupt is
what would be the easiest then?
Monarchy, bar none. Anything where it runs through the family is easily the easiest system to flaw and corrupt.
If it was always corrupt and flawed, can you corrupt it more so? If it was corrupt by the start, you know what I mean?
Like, monarchy is not corrupt by the start, but it's very easy to flaw and corrupt. Within a single generation, you can completely dismantle a monarchy. As happened several times.
So what makes you so interested in history and stuff like this?
Me? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, who else would I talk?
Let's see. Let me think.
Okay, was just talking to me?
Okay, was this talking to me?
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Since when?
I remember something else about me that's content. I have funny accent, but we get used to the accent over time. You know what I mean?
But no, just history is just it's interesting seeing the blueprints of humanity and the way things have run their course in the past and comparing them to the current time to see the direction that things will likely go, or to see how, like, people say, I've said this is probably one of my favorite quotes about history, is a lot of people will say history repeats itself, but the real way to look at it is history never repeats itself, but it often rhymes, where it's never exactly the same,
but it's like very similar,
close.
So it's almost as if we could have prevented it in a way, I would say.
Yeah, where you can look at it. I mean, you look at, like, as far as my monarchy example goes,
you're so fucking funny.
If you look at Machiavelli when he wrote The Prince, and honestly most of Machiavelli's writing was not actually about what we would consider Machiavellianism. It was warnings to the crown that was coming. He had seen so many young, like, princes of the provinces around Florence like try to prosper and just get shot down by these absolutely savage people. So, you know, just interesting seeing like how often it happened.
No, I see. Stargazer says there are many able and skilled leaders who want to run, but people who have the power often gatekeep the system, putting favoritism or those who have the same ideologies they have and put them in the polls instead of abled ones. JK sorry.
JK sorry.
JK sorry stuff is kind of funny, low-key.
It's funny, but it's also like, damn, I want to take you seriously, Stargazer.
Yeah, it's like Stargazer. See, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't have such a jester persona, you know, maybe we'd have something of substance around here. I realized, like, we gotta find out what Stargazer, what makes him tick, and it seems like history? What would you call this specifically?
Politics.
Politics?
Stargazer cares more about the politics. Yeah, Stargazer cares more about the politics and, like, the modern political system than the history of it. Which was also referenced when Stargazer earlier mentioned a desire to run for politics.
That is true. Stargazer, what is something you would like to change about the current state of politics? You know what I mean? Like, what is something you would want to change? Oh, I can put that in front of the chat. I do ask. History and politics. Tado, would you say you are a stoic, optimist, nihilist, or pessimist? I want to debate with a black pillar. I do like their nonsense.
I would say I'm an optimist overall. I definitely have my
I'd say
times when
so.
I slip into deep pessimism, but overall I'm an optimist.
Would
you say that's accurate?
I'd say that that's relatively accurate. He's genuinely competent. We had many good combos where we'd chat in the BRS server. You know what I mean? Like I said, we have like a moment of lucidity where you're like, wow, this is the real stargazer. And then he's back to gives the bunk a donut.
Gives the bunk donut. JK, sorry.
You know what I mean?
Ooh, woo.
Political psychology. I used to be a hardcore nihilist. We could not tell. We could not tell. Crackdown on DC, reboot the system, change the electoral colleges, same with state elections. We have social media for crying out loud. Let the popular vote of the people decide who represents who. JK, sorry. I have to say that's relatively reasonable. Now, what is your thoughts, my dear Stargazer, on the big, beautiful bill? What are your thoughts on that? I do ask. Go ahead.
Stargazer, a question too.
Permission
when you
granted.
say crackdown on DC, what does that even mean?
Maybe the corruption, maybe the fact that they
I would say like that is that like drain, like basically the same thing as drain the swamp when Trump was running the first time.
What does that mean?
The idea of like draining out the corruption. Can I hear the what?
Can you hear the motor of the I don't think so then.
No, I don't think so.
I'm using my standing desk right now. I'm standing
But I'm
up,
also
guys.
listening to you through Discord, so it might be different than what they hear on stream. Oh, but yeah, like, what does crackdown on DC mean? What do you mean by reboot the system? Are you, like, gonna redo the Constitution of the United States of America?
Yuppers, says Stargazer.
Change electoral colleges, how? Same with state elections, how?
Okay, first of all,
social media,
like quizzing him when it's like, we just asked the blanket.
I'm just asking.
You know what I mean?
Well, no, I'm just asking.
Then
like,
go,
how?
Then go one at a time. You know what I mean? Because it's like, how is he going to type all this stuff out?
Well, no, I'm pretty sure Yuppers was in response to crackdown on DC being the same as like drain the swamp and like getting rid of the corrupt people.
Okay, what is drain the swamp?
I'm pretty sure Yuppers was a direct. Like I said, it's just the idea of like draining out the people. Well, okay, so DC is built on swampland. And so drain the swamp is like draining DC. Yeah, like quite literally, it was a swamp before we built Washington, DC there. So draining it is getting rid of all the corrupt people that have been like career politicians there. Whether it was said by Trump or anybody, it's a common like rhetoric used in politics.
I see. You get excited thinking the motor was a cat purring. I know. Oh, kitties. But I do wonder, what do you guys think about the big beautiful bill? What do you guys think? What is the inhabitants of Chaos's YouTube chat think about the big beautiful bill? Abolish electoral college. I'm assuming that's where it's like there's like a few people who kind of make this decision. Is that right, Tado?
The what?
What is the electoral college? It's like where like there's a few representatives per.
Yeah, so we live in we don't live in a democracy. We live in a republic, and so we have people, like we elect people that will then elect people that will then elect people. Is basically how it works. Like we put ourselves so many tiers removed, and so you elect people at your state level that will then elect your electoral college representatives, who will then vote. All they do is they vote according, and this is where it gets kind of funny. They vote exactly according to how the district they represent votes. It's only, I think, 2 times in the entire history of our country that a single electoral college person has gone against what has happened. I think they're called rogue electors. I think it's what they go by. I think it's happened twice. Faithless. That's what it is.
I see. If I get deported, visit me in Mexico. Of course, Dark Virus. We can't get you deported. Monsters sketched by the BBB. You know what I mean? I think this generation will be the first in a while to have their futures worse than their parents. Yeah. It's like, I would say yes, I agree, but it's just, that's so hard to say with us living in, like, what, the 21st century? Technically. Because, like, things are way more easily accessible now, but it's like, I know what you mean, though. Jay says, hi, Chaos, do you have a problem with us getting political here? It depends. Well, I'm back, says Jay says. It depends. Like, we don't want to keep it too provocative, you know, like, handle it in a responsible way, Jay says. You know what I mean? Like, don't just come in here and say, my dad hates this. All right, KO's a debate against it, I guess, you know? So it's like, you know what I mean? Just handle it responsibly. That's why I don't vote, says Dark Virus. No, not change the Constitution, keep the Constitution, fortify it. I've never seen Stargazer type in all caps. It's the foundation of our laws. I remember the first time you typed in caps, it was literally the time versus money argument. You were like, exactly!
Yeah.
It is the foundation
you were
of our
finally
laws.
understanding, and then you lost it.
I lost it. Who won today? I want the representatives to be true elected by the people. Most just have to be there somehow. I know, that's crazy. When did the bill pass? I only heard about it yesterday. I think it passed, like, what, 2 days ago?
It passed yesterday. Well, okay, so technically it passed House on the 2nd, Senate on the 3rd, and then signed into law on the 4th. But he very specifically wanted to sign it into law
on July 4th.
He's all about the show. Yeah, he's all about the show.
Let me see. Man, I don't want to be deported to Japan. Yeah, that's crazy. Ending national birthright? That's very interesting. I haven't heard of it from Norwegian news, only from one reference from TikTok. Yeah, it recently passed. We gotta do a little look-see over of what's allegedly to come in this big, beautiful bill. What a cruel title. I think Electoral College should remain, but make their vote low-key not count. LOL, have it as a map to show what districts lean which way. JK. USA, says Darkfires.
USA.
Stefan, wrong person. Whoops. What the? Oh, did you just tag Stefan something? Trump knows how to advertise for sure. Yeah, he is a businessman. He's a showman. He's a fantastic entertainer. You cannot deny. Do we need an entertainer to be making very important decisions? I don't believe so. You know?
But at the end of the day, when you look at how our politics is laid out, how much power does the president really have? Like, he could never have put this bill into law if not for the House and the Senate, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's why it's all fucking stupid. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what I see.
Well, the idea is we're supposed to have. Honestly, it's a huge issue that our legislative branch is so, like, entangled with the executive branch. And even the judicial branch is fairly entangled up at the top now, too. The idea is they were supposed to be separate balances for each. And they've just become so entangled with each other that, I don't know, it's all one. It's all just one
I
big
see
thing.
What you're saying. Yeah, it's like, what, you know, we separated them for a reason. Well, they're not acting independently. The big bad bill I haven't kept up because I have been drained from my living situation, but I heard it's horrible. You're so stupid, Stargazer. I heard it's horrible. JK, sorry. Yeah, I was trying to ask Stella. That's actually so funny.
Okay,
wait, hold on.
You have to admit, Alligator Alcatraz is such a funny name.
Yeah, like I'm saying, he's a genius. If that was Trump, I'm assuming. The alliteration always rolls off the tongue. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like Gargura, 2 G's. Sameko Saba.
GG.
It's always the alliteration always sounds really nice. Alcatraz, Alligator Alcatraz. What is that, by the way? I saw something
It's just a new detention facility for people before they deport them, basically. And it's just in the middle of a swamp, so they can't escape.
That's very interesting.
But yeah, it's like it's got mosquitoes and a bunch of shit.
Did you hear how allegedly they like tripled ICE's budget, and it's more like triple the value of like the Marines or something like that. The Marines budget. That's what I think really scares me, because the Marines already spent a ridiculous amount of money, and now ICE, like, calm down.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that ICE is allegedly going to be up to $100 billion in funding.
Man, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
If you look at history, both Dems and Repubs have been wanting this. That's why there's no back and forth. Checks and balances as real as separation of church and state these days. Church and state. One day I'm going to go into my very anti-religious rant, but I'm like, today's not the day. I hate all religion.
Like,
actually, I hate all religion. I'm like, do I want to get like all sweaty today? Every single religion. I hate it. Anyway.
Poor Stargazer.
Kamikaze Kyoza. I low-key like that a lot. Kamikaze Kyoza. They're selling merch for concentration camp. Remember like the Trump coin? Oh my god. You know what I mean?
I have one.
Really? What is that?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, is it physical?
I think it was like that. There is like that's what I thought you were talking about at first, and then I remember there's like the Trump coin crypto scam, whatever.
Yeah.
But which crazy, but I thought you were talking. There was these gold coins with Trump's face on them they were selling.
Weren't they like $50 a piece or something like that?
Yeah. Super overvalued for the amount of gold in them. Yeah.
I do.
And they're only gold on the surface at that. I saw somebody buy one and then chemically test it.
They destroyed Florida's wetlands. The things that you get so penalized if you mess up, that's wild. Why are they giving ICE more money? It's not that serious. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know what I mean? The whole concept of like the... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's like, what can you do with 100 billion that you weren't already able to do with 10 billion?
Yeah.
Like, it's already such an obscene amount of fucking money.
You know? On behalf of my religion, I apologize to you. There's no apologies. I used to be religious, and again, like, it all comes down to, like, I'm very openly, I'm not really openly, I'm super feminist, so it's just like any religion that downplays the value of a woman and makes it below a man is, I think, dog shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I just don't like religion. And I understand it gets bastardized down the road where it's like the policy kind of changes. They're like, oh, we don't believe in this anymore. But if it's still written in the scripture, who am I to say it doesn't exist when it literally exists? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I do.
At any point, they could flip. Yeah.
Exactly. And then they say suddenly, okay, now we're back to believing it. You know what I mean? And then there's the whole... oh, I'm this type of religious person who doesn't believe all of this part. And like, especially, what is it? Like, it's like Baptist, Methodist, Catholic. You know, it's like everyone has like these little like, you know what I mean? It's just so much.
Yeah.
Have you seen Back to the Future? I have not, Jace the Ace. I'm not a very big movie person. Sex workers are real people too. I would say sex workers should definitely be... Again, this is another hot take straight from Las Vegas. In Pahrump, a nearby city that's about 40 minutes away from here, 45 minutes, prostitution is legal. It is legal there. And I think it's a very fantastic thing because think about it. It stops a lot of forcible sexual encounters if you have easy access to a prostitute. You know what I mean?
Also,
I think we should definitely regulate it.
Oh, sorry.
Say again?
I was going to say, with all the illegal prostitution, you get tons of human trafficking elsewhere.
That, and you can tax that money because, like, yeah, you know, sex work is generally, depending, I guess, on the quality, can be expensive. So it's like you can make income from it, or excuse me, tax on it. Doesn't mean you hate me for making misogyny jokes. No. Like I said, I'm always very, very secure in everything about myself. Like, I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, Like, for example, Dark Virus is a
Oh,
woman.
women in STEM.
Yeah, I love women in STEM. It's like the most brain dead thing. I'm like, women in STEM. And again, the aircraft crashing because it's like it was an all women flight crew, fantastic. You know, so it's like I personally don't take these kind of like nonsensical things too seriously. So yeah, I'm totally fine with it. Like Dark Virus is a woman. That's probably the worst insult I've ever said to women.
That is a huge insult to women, actually. I didn't think.
Yeah, that's
about
what I'm
it that
saying.
way.
That's probably the worst thing I've ever said about women. Actually, is that Dark Virus is one of them. Gotcha. Sex works and drugs should be 100% legalized, if not just for the tax. Okay, so depending on the drug, like when I hear the word drug, to me, I think like meth, crack, cocaine, stuff of that. Just because here it's super legal, so it's like I don't really see marijuana as drugs, but I do believe marijuana and stuff like that.
Yeah, like marijuana is legal here, so whatever.
Required reports monthly with a menu board too. Yeah, and it's like they can do like quicker STD testing if you legalize prostitution. It's like it's the oldest profession in the book for a reason. You know what I mean? Like let consenting adults do whatever it is they want to do. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you know, if a man takes me out to dinner, I'm like, okay, I can sleep with him. It's like to me, it's very similar. Not to say it's the exact same thing. But it's very, very similar. It's just like now there's a workaround. You know what I mean? That was a cute panic. No. Weed is also legal here. Yeah. Imagine that. We almost had marijuana legal here. We were so close. That's so silly. I don't know. It's not that like it's another one of those things. Marijuana is not that serious. We make bank off of it. Like it pays for all our schools here in Vegas. I will say Vegas is very interesting where it's like we take a lot of like bad stuff and we're like, okay, let's just turn it into a profit and then we thrive.
Sin City.
Literally. It works. You know? We are the blueprint. I think drug and sex work could be legalized, but in a protected, secured environment. I believe it should be regulated. You know what I mean? Have them try modified drugs that don't cause dangerous side effects, tax it, use a money improvement system. Yeah. You know what I mean? But purity culture. You know what I mean? Like, what does it bother you if somebody's like... I think, again, it comes down to... I don't know, what is it? People become so disgusted at those who do things that they don't agree with that they almost take it personally. And they're like, let me lash out on this person. You know what I mean? Florida, the dating scene is prostitution. The dating scene is prostitution. I think it's more like meant to hinder large-scale sex trafficking. If it's properly regulated, for example, you could say like we're not allowing marijuana to be legal because it's stopping large-scale trafficking of marijuana. That's definitely not the case. And again, we have to go through some sort of like conflict and like rough system in order for it to be perfected. You know, the best example I always have about that, because like, yeah, when you create a new system, there's going to be flaws that we didn't even think of that pop up. We just have to overcorrect it. You know what I mean? In the same sense, again, with aviation, they always say the rules of aviation are written in blood, meaning every time there's a lethal accident, they learn that should not be replicated. And that's what creates new laws to keep planes even more safe than what they are now. So it's just like what is it, growing pains? Growing pains?
That's what happened with sprinkler systems. Is they weren't regulated in buildings, even skyscrapers, for decades, and then the smoking culture of, I want to say the 60s, it was when it happened. There was a big hotel fire. I forget what city it was in.
Oh.
Killed like 100 people, and that's what led to them going like, okay, we need to start putting like these sprinkler systems in.
I wonder if that was in Vegas, because I do kind of remember something like that. If someone is safely and consensually using their body to generate revenue, there's no issue. It's like, what is the difference? The biggest people selling their body, like prostitutes, is the goddamn military personnel. They're doing the exact same thing. They're selling their body for a profit. You literally, legally become military, government-owned property when you sign your contract in the military. Prostitutes, every single one of them. Let me see where that fire was.
But let me see. I know Stella said if someone is safely and consensually body to generate revenue,
Okay,
there
it
ain't
was
no
Rhode
issue.
Island. Whoops, Rhode Island. All right, good night,
So
Stace.
Stella said if someone is safely and consensually using their body to generate revenue, there ain't no issue. And I ask, why does it have to be safe? If the person's choosing to do it. People sign up for dangerous professions all the time.
I see what you're saying. I mean, I see what Stella was saying. Like, safe as in, like, look, this is regulated. This is not just, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, is that
Proper
okay?
STD.
Okay, yeah.
I see what you're
Okay.
saying, though. I see.
I thought it was talking about the person themselves. I was like, people can put
no.
themselves in danger if they want for their career. It happens all the time. Look at underwater welders. Jesus.
Oh, God. What have you been talking about since 5 minutes ago, Gorb? We've been talking about prostitution and how it should be legalized in America. There's a city nearby me where I live that prostitution's legal, and they do just fine. We can make money off of prostitution. So you're calling me a whore, correct? And you know it too. Go out. Listen here, Bob. Go out in the sun and get sunburned, and tell me the consequence. Tell me the consequences of that. Guess what? You have to report to your watch bill. You have to ask for liberty. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. I know, but how did it get to sex work?
I don't remember.
I
think somebody just like mentioned it. Oh, I think it was Dark Virus saying something about sex work lives matter or something.
Oh, I said I was a feminist. Yeah, exactly. So he was kind of doing like the whole like hee hee ha ha. And I was like, oh no, I actually agree.
Yeah.
That was such a heavy eye roll. Tado or astronauts? It was me, Dark Virus. Look at you. You're like, I created this chaos. That was me. Last I once got in a rollover crash, my command never had heard a peep about it. Yeah, your command never heard anything about it. Good God. Good God. I don't really have anything too bad other than the fact that one time we were pulling an aircraft, a sister command was towing an aircraft, and the tow bar broke and slammed into the tow machine, the tow truck, and like ripped the hell out of this aircraft. And that was pretty cool. It took like 9 months for them to fix it. I wasn't hee hee ha ha lol, I'm dead serious. Yeah, exactly. I definitely agree. It'd just be smarter. Brothel licensing fees cost about $100,000 to $200,000 a year per place. Vegas. So be it. I think maybe that should be a little bit more affordable. However, I think again, we'd make a lot of income off of it as far as like tax and revenue and stuff like that.
I'm just saying, if the licensing fee is that much per year and they're still in business, that just shows how much money they make.
Exactly. OMG, have you seen the clip of Hololive member Crony rolling her eyes 2.0? Maybe. I think I may have seen that. 2 hours later in chat, we're chat maxing you and Crow Sato at the pool. We still in what else? Hello, Raina. How are you doing? We've been streaming for 2 hours and 37 minutes. I feel like we've been streaming forever. What say you, Tado?
No, it feels like 30 seconds have passed.
Oh, God.
I see how it is. When I'm with you, it's like time flies by, but when you're with me, it's like each second drags on.
I mean. Anyway. Tasado's living the dream.
Just me chilling out near the pool with my wife. It's great out here.
Oh, brother. Listen here, I'm not in the bestiality. I hate to break it to you. Sleepy time for Kaoza? Okay.
So you don't fuck with the goat?
Oh, God. Man, it's only 5:36 here. Or 5:34. Alright, we still had no idea for content. Okay, actually, I was like, let's do the switch. So I can do the switch. I don't know. I gotta figure out what all the kids, kids do and just do that.
They just play Minecraft.
I mean, like
the guys. Dare you ever attempt Minecraft again?
I mean, like the people who make money. I need money.
Oh, the people that make money. It's
Tell me.
It's
how do I make money in chat? Drama. Okay.
It's drama. It's React slop, and it's politics.
Slop
Those are the people pulling in the real buck. Yep. Slop tuber.
I can become a slop tuber.
You should be a slop tuber.
Just do that for a year or so.
You know, you could actually wait. You know what you could do to kind of tie it into yourself? What? You could do like lolcow reaction.
Yeah. Streams. I could. They really have
if you like, you know, try it once, but
yeah. Wait, where's Hayu flying, you Kaoza? Where is Hayu? I haven't seen him in a while. Mauling that he's in California, which is the funniest thing ever. Oh, Hayu. He's in the trenches right now. All my anime tubers went politics. I mean, I feel like because like I'm a very intellectually stimulated person, so sometimes like again like the little gaming, it's really hard for me to truly get into it. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know what I need to do to do something that's more intellectually stimulating for me. You know, because I like debate, but then like, who am I gonna debate? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like who can stand up to you? Oh, you gotta get a big name. So the
I really do. So I really do. Hassan.
Yeah, because like, right. Hassan Piker.
No, in real life.
I love that clip so much.
I know. Drama tubers get. I see. Like, what is like? Okay, so drama tuber is someone who just talks about drama. I don't want to just like talk about drama. Be like, hey guys, this is where the drama is going on right now.
Like,
I want to give my opinion on it. You know what I mean? But is that what a drama tuber does? Maybe that is what a drama tuber does.
Most of them usually, I think, will give. That's just me assuming, because I would assume why like I'm sure there's some people who cover just to cover and tell you this is what's going on, but I assume most of them are gonna chime in with their opinion.
Raina, who super chatted these 2 hours? It was Crispy Clee, Raina. He did $50. Can you believe it? It was so kind of him. Garker's lucky she got the Sesame Street market.
True.
There's a pair of VTubers. I'm like, they're Teletubbies. What were you saying?
Do Cocomelon reacts.
Cocomelon reacts.
That way, instead of the Sesame Street. Yeah, instead of the Sesame Street market, you'll get the Cocomelon market.
Oh, that's true. Guys, today we're going to be reacting to episodes. Oh, can you imagine like how litigious those people are with their content? Because they make so much money.
Oh, they've got to be insane with it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Another thing we have in common, says Gorv. Drama tubers are so annoying. Yeah, I think if you only... There's like one thing to like weigh... Because like a lot of people are misinformed, I think, about like human behavior in general. So there's a difference between like weighing in to say like, hey, maybe we shouldn't immediately turn into a bloodbath against this person, versus like kind of perpetuating the drama, waiting until the final verdict, like the society's verdict, you know what I mean? The community's verdict, and then taking that and be like, that's my verdict too, just so you get the community support. We need more people who go against everybody. Guys, I'm just gonna have to go against the grain and debate everybody. Again, I can't wait. Them all. I know. I hope. I was like, I don't want to say I hope I get canceled on Twitter, but I would love to, low key, because I'm gonna go through the notoriety. I would go through every single person's criticism and take it apart, because I've got nothing but time.
That'd be your content to farm.
Exactly.
These people talk negatively about me on Twitter, and then you just like live pull up all the information you can about them and explain why they're
react to them. Exactly. I'd be like, okay, this specific comment doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. That'd be a lot of fun. That's what I'm saying. Only mention because you talk reaction content. I can't even comprehend what kids say nowadays. You know what I mean? Gargara, before she retired, told people how she got her market and her fans didn't believe her. She was trying to be like Mr. Rogers Sesame Street. Low-key, there's an appeal to it. There's an appeal to it. Me personally, it's just like, because like, for example, again, like some VTubers can do like the lewd content really well, where it's like they're flirting with anybody who like steps in their chat. I'm like, that's rough.
Yeah.
I could never do that.
They go
that's
crazy
rough.
with that. You did that with me, and that was enough.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Mama tubing. Not the mama tubing. I don't have a child.
What the hell
Matt
is
Maida.
mama tubing?
Matt Maida wants to see me impregnated. There's a few silly words you can say to get canceled on Twitter, I think. See, the worst part about that is there's really not too many I can say personally because I'm the intersectionality poster child. You know what I mean?
That's
so, like, some of
true,
them
you
is
are.
like, you know what I mean? So some of them are like, oh, well, she can say that. So it's like, guys, I don't have really many slurs to choose from.
I can volunteer for you if you want.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
I don't have
What did
many I
miss,
can
Crispy
say,
Clee?
so
Oh, we're just talking about anything. You know what I mean? Healthy
Crispy
Gamer
Clee's gonna get
GG does that as
fried.
a daddy tuber. A daddy tuber from a psychologist. I'm curious what you mean by that. Does he roleplay as, like, Chat's dad? Rip Longbay.
What's his name?
Did Longmay die? What the?
What's his
Milano.
actual name?
Uh,
Dr. K, that's what he goes by.
Yeah,
Healthy
there you
Gamer
go.
GG. I was trying to remember. I was like, fuck, what's he go by?
where he fixes broken chat members. Okay, so he just calls it. That's interesting. I was doing that for a while, but then, like, all my chatters have done, like, really well as far as emotional stability. Now I'm out of content. Now I have no content.
You hear that, Dark Virus? It's time to relapse, baby.
Oh, God.
Don't.
Tado is such a nice helper. Isn't he so sweet? Isn't he so sweet? Well, I had a blast eating sand and wish Crow Sato could have eaten sand too, says Rena. Sato, I wish you could have eaten sand as well.
I would have loved to eat some sand today.
I'm done standing. I always think I'm so emotionally stable these days, and I get slapped upside with the head with hormones. Shout out to uteruses. I mean, I just
Uteri?
fully take the psycho pill. Just accept it. You know what I mean? Just accept the moments. When am I getting fried? This is Crispy Clee. That's a good question. I'll let you guys know if I do relapse. I appreciate that. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to, like, the problem is I also don't watch other streamers that are like popular and make a lot of money, so I don't even know what they do, so I can't even copy them. I guess that's what I need to do. You know what I mean?
Like, study
Ayo,
up
Gumball! Here's military Gumball. Oh, Bob.
Who? Like, who are the top streamers right now?
I'm assuming in my echo chamber, Hassan, Asmongold. Is XQC still a thing? I show speed.
I don't think he's. Oh yeah, he's big, but he's a kick, so he's not included in like the Twitch stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Tasato is a top streamer.
One day, Tim. One day.
One day. He is, as far as I know. The top streamer doesn't hustle anymore because they just are top no matter what they make. Yeah, so that's also the problem.
Yeah, like the last one I remember that really like climbed up the ranks was Kai Cenat.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I couldn't fucking stand that guy, though.
Okay, I'll let the man know. I'll reply to him about the donuts instead of that, says Rena. Iron Mouse just does anything these days, and she started out specializing. Every time I've been in an Iron Mouse stream, it's just music and chatting, I think. I don't know. I have heard of Hassan. What does he do? Is there a controversy about him? Yeah,
There's tons.
Yeah, there's a lot. He's kind of like Twitch's poster child, where it's like he gets away with a lot of stuff that other content creators on Twitch don't get to get away with. Most other people get to be, get held accountable for their actions and comments and stuff like that. However, Hassan has this kind of endless pass, so he can kind of say whatever he wants, and it just, like, handles. Like, he kind of recently threatened to dox some random person, and he flashed a gun, kind of indicating, like, hey, I would say in the...
Oh, no,
Go ahead.
He, like, actually doxed. He pulled up the person's picture.
Yeah.
And stuff, yeah.
And it ended up being the wrong person. And I think there was, like, what? Someone's kid had a toy gun one time and they got banned off of Twitch for that. But Hassan can literally threaten people. And that's fine. Hassan has also said, what was it specifically? Depending on the income of the woman, it is fine if she gets sexually assaulted against her will. That's fine. Like, what does it matter? So
Wait, he said that?
yeah,
That's why I didn't know that one. That's
yeah.
wild.
He said, oh, what does it matter if you rich girls like like they just get raped by the other rich guys? So what does it matter? Wild. And on top of that, which again, like, not to be super me too, but it's like he was trying to, like, people were saying like witness accounts of I forget what the exact circumstances were, saying like they were being sexually assaulted, and he was like, okay, well, where's your proof of that? And like, that's wild. And people were making memes. They're like, all right, where's the VOD? If there's no VOD, it doesn't exist. Yeah, so he's kind of like insane. And all of those things don't mean anything. And he's allowed to thrive and be a super successful streamer on Twitch.
Yeah. And I know he gets what was it? He was the CEO of Twitch came out and said he was his favorite streamer too.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Which only like makes the preferential treatment look even worse.
Exactly. So it's that's the whole drama with Hassad. And he mostly, if you want to watch a very interesting and very entertaining video, for the longest time he would not do debating because he's not very well equipped in debating. And he debated Ethan Klein, and it was fantastic. I was very indifferent to Ethan Klein a while back ago because he just kind of like fell off and got to I don't know how you would explain it, but after that video, I'm like, we are so back. He ass blasted Hassan. It was fantastic. It was a great day. Christmas. Okay, chat, think about this. Many political streamers are low-key OCD in their own world. I'd have to agree. That's freaking insane. It really is. And again, like, everyone's just like, tee-hee. Oh, and then after he got ass blasted by Ethan Klein, like, he got, like, again, like, wiped on the ground. He was starting to do all these PR things where he's like, oh, look, guys, I'm just doing arts and crafts. I'm a little cute guy. I'm gonna decorate this phone case. I'm so cute, ooh. Because he knows his audience, which I feel like could be majorly women, if I were to guess. But I don't know.
Why would you guess his audience is majority women? Because
to me, I don't know what else would give him an audience other than women who are attracted to him. Because someone put him in a really well way. He's like the left, like the far left type of person. So I don't know. That's my opinion. Because it's like, what else? Like, yeah, what else would be a reason to like? What would his normal community be? You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like men who are nuts.
Yeah.
Other than women. Yeah.
But I feel like the men who are kind of nuts, and especially regarding women, I feel like they're more on the right leaning. You know what I mean?
No, there's plenty of nutso men on the left side too.
Oh, I see. I'm just a silly little guy, teehee. Yeah, it's like it was like the most transparent, like, let me do arts and crafts, you guys. Wild.
And yes, Reina, I can swim.
The whole point of political influencers are when they get ass blasted. They don't get their pop-offs when they normally stream. It's when they cause drama, they bloom. Agree. But I guess when it comes to drama, you just have to, start the first punch. You know what I mean? Start the first punch. And that's,
yeah, there's plenty of like low CCV streamers that they'll just swing and miss on bigger streamers until it actually catches somebody's eye.
I feel like
then the name gets put out there.
Yeah, I feel like Legal Mindset kind of does that often. And it's working though, because I think he's getting acknowledged by Hassan now, which I like Legal Mindset. Mm-hmm. He's a little corny, but I generally
he's definitely corny, but
I like a lot of the law tubers, they call them now.
Yeah, what is it, like Legal Mindset?
Yeah.
I think there's one other.
Yeah.
I forget which one. I remember watching their coverage a lot of stuff though. Like whenever there's like a big law thing going on, I'm like, yeah, I'll put on like at least an actual lawyer Even if they're corny, at
Yeah.
least I won't be getting totally
Do you know
misinformed.
Nate the lawyer?
I've heard of. I haven't watched.
He's really good. He's really good. He's one of my favorites, if not my favorites. That was aggressive cost. Yeah, I was like choking. I was like, you know when you swallow the water and kind of goes down the wrong area. Cast the first stone. All right, guys.
That
who are we
happened to me
throwing rocks
earlier.
at?
I had to mute my mic.
That's funny.
We're gonna clip you saying "I hate Hassan."
I mean, but that's like milk
and
toast.
then-
You know what I mean? Milk toast.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is milk toast. Okay.
Yeah, it's milk toast. It's just like I said. It's just spelt with the like funny.
Yeah.
Like
You know what I mean?
everyone's heard
that's like
the
the
phrase.
coldest take.
It's the spelling. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the coldest take ever. Next thing you know, I was like, oh, I hate Donald Trump. Wow, that will get me canceled. You know what I mean?
Wow. And then you'll say like I don't support women in STEM, and it's like, oh wow, yeah, you and everybody else.
Shut up. Good, because I can't, so I was swimming with you two, says Raynum. Horny streamers is now an archetype people look for. That's why they hire VTuber Gigi. Is she that type of person? I thought she was the opposite. In marketing class, they said it's normalized.
She's from what I've seen, she's both. Like she does the horny stuff, but she also just is like obscenely high energy and gets the goo goo gaga crowd.
Yeah. I see. She makes sexual jokes, but she's asexual.
This is I've already been explained, but that's putting me in that confusion of asexual again. I've been explained, but brain's still
Gorb
hard
and
to
Stargazer
understand.
are having some sort of conversation here.
Let's
interrupt. Let's eavesdrop. Gorb says
they're talking about government plants.
To summarize, plants use hormones like auxin to decide where they grow. A process take a long time, hours, days, when humans use a blend of slow hormones and fast nerve signals. Stargazer says, I do agree it's quite fascinating, although the human anatomy is far more complex than a plant, but plants have more variety, unless you speak of the motor transportation system. I'm glad they're having fun. You know?
I love when Gorv gets to, like, I read it all. I love when Gorv just gets to pop off.
Loot tubers have their place. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why, like, you know, Pornhub and stuff like that is like astronomically like successful. There's a time and place for it. To me, it's just like, I don't know, like flirting with anybody, like it takes a lot mentally. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Giguk's wife Sydney. I don't know who that is. I think I know who Gigux is though.
Oh, speaking of, I think I saw, like, he announced, I think it was at AX, he announced that he's making an anime now, which is kind of cool for, like, an anime content creator to be writing/directing.
Jesus.
Funding. Like, that's cool.
Man, that shows he has a lot of, money.
Yep.
A lot of money and power. And
then, did you see Gate is getting a sequel?
Oh, yeah, I did see that Gate too. Wow.
Yeah, like, it's been, what, a decade? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Holy shit.
There was another series that got, like, a season 2, and, like, that was wild. Yeah, flirting is exhausting. It really is, because, like, you kind of have to, like, change your mindset, you know what I mean? GFE is such a slippery slope for VTubers. As in, you feel like once they start it, they can't really stop it, that sort of thing. It would just be really exhausting to have to, like, imagine if you're just not feeling it, you know, and someone's like, you know, making some weird joke, and I'm like, oh, I'd kill myself. I'd kill them and then kill myself.
Pengy Time mispronounced Kaozia's name. How dare they? Yeah, please clip that.
Oh,
Thank
God.
You,
why did Pengy even say my name? That's actually kind of cool. I know Pengy. That's kind of cool. She can say my name incorrectly. I mean, the systems are quite different, though. Both serve their purpose. I like one of Pengy's songs. It has to do with working. I think Stella showed it to me. They're still going on about internal transportation in plants relies on a vascular system. Oh my God. Money, you say, really makes you think, guys, I need to make money. I need to make the big bucks. But I have to do it ethically. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Ethical. Nobody makes big money ethically.
Yeah, that's true. Damn. Damn. Oh, did I tell you that Foodie Beauty? Maybe I told you. She got like kicked out of, like, exiled from Kuwait, fled the country, came to Canada, and then moved to Syria. Did I tell you that? So now she's in Syria.
I don't remember the exiles from Kuwait part.
Yeah, she was like facing like a lot of legal things because they're very strict with their recording laws and stuff like that. And so she was recording, I think, some of their stuff that they don't want to show, which I think is like, it was either like oil fields or
oh wait,
graves.
I think I do remember this now. Yeah.
So she was starting to get charged. You know, they were trying to process the stuff to take her up to like the people who like I don't know if it's a kingdom over there. And so she fled the country, but then she came to Canada and then fled and then went to Syria. You make money with time.
Kingdom of
exactly.
Kuwait sounds right.
Maybe. I saw Penny all kind. She wrote me a thank you note. That's so cute. I do wonder, Raina, why did she say my name though? I'm curious. It's so cool.
The bunk said they can't stop GFE content, otherwise it gets bad, by the way.
Oh wait, what does that mean? Otherwise it ends up bad, as in the fans become so parasocial that they do something dangerous? Perhaps? Is that what you're kind of saying?
That's definitely happened before.
Yeah.
Or you get that, like, super psychotic fan that tracked somebody down and was, like, stalking them outside their house and would, like, knock on their window while they were streaming live.
Yeah.
That was fucking wild.
Man, what's very interesting, though, is it ethical to prey on someone's emotions like that? I wonder. I could argue both sides. It's not ethical to take advantage of someone who's lonely because they're vulnerable. And I would even go so far as to say that being so emotionally vulnerable and lonely manifests mental illness because of the isolation. And is it right to take advantage of mentally ill people? No? I wonder.
I guess where do we draw the line at, like, preying on emotion?
Preying on emotion?
Because, like, ethically, that's kind of how advertisement works. Like, is advertisement ethical?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think in a sense where it's, like, interactive, like, the girl, it's exactly, it's really hard to say because, like, there's no, like, particular way to do girlfriend content. But it's like, if you're super close to a person, you make them feel valued. I don't know. To me, it's just like one of those situations where you're just asking for trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. Ethical or not, like, I think that is up for debate, but you're definitely walking a tightrope that'll easily get you into some deep shit.
Yeah, and it's like, it's one of those things, because again, like, I've gotten, like, I've been too lenient with certain things, and I've gotten wackos as a response, and I'm like almost like, I really am truly partially at fault here, because it's like, I don't know why I'm so trusting of people who I don't know their current mental capacity and what they're capable of, you know what I mean? That's one of the outcomes, yes, but more the fans feel like they're stopping the girlfriend is betrayal. Betrayal. I mean, like, if someone thinks I'm betraying them, who cares? That's me personally. Overall, GFE is a slippery that plays in the strong, irrational emotions. I agree, but it's just like, to me, like, every human has a right to make a decision. You know, stand firm in your decision, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just like, that's why I'm very interested, like, if I get canceled, or rather when, will I break down because of so much of the social pressure? Or will I handle it effectively, you know, to where it doesn't bother me? You know what I mean? I don't know, because I've never experienced something to that extent where it's so much pressure, it alters my perception. But I'd say all things considered, Go ahead.
I would say it's one of those things where you can make an educated guess, but you won't know until it happens.
Yeah, technically. But all things considered, because I will say I do have that kind of personality where it's like, I do like arguing, because the thing is, it always comes down to an argument battle, and who can defend and who can make the best excuse, if you will, as justifications for your actions. And I'm relatively good at that. You know what I mean? So I wonder.
No, I don't know what you mean, actually.
Wait a minute.
Perhaps we should have another hour.
Oh wait, hold on.
Argument.
Remind me who won the argument today. I'm just curious.
Before I remind you of that, I will. But before I do so, who already had the cage set up over somebody's reactive?
Me, because I was so certain of victory. I preemptively prepared for the moment I received it. Anyway, who won?
And who received $50 on PayPal to concede that argument after an hour? Me.
Who? Wait a minute. Are you trying to do that angle? I'll show my PayPal history. Let's see. Here's my last PayPal payment. Let me see. It was staged. You know what I mean? And he's so broke, he would do it too. Unbelievable.
The truth comes out. Towards my floor fund, $50 from KOZia to concede.
The last thing I paid for was $1.99 for my Google... What is this? Oh, my Google OneDrive. Wait, what? He's lying. Oh, wow. Krispy Kreme, he's a liar. He's trying to pay him $50 to concede.
No, I lost. I conceded. I conceded of my own free will. This is not because I had to sign paperwork saying I wouldn't admit to this publicly.
You're so dumb. Gotcha.
I paid you entirely with my time, and you gave me your time in response.
Oh, brother. All that matters is that I took the W. You know what I mean? That's all that matters. So, but
Tim, do you abuse Crispy Klee's gullibleness constantly?
Probably. This is a brother. So, what do you think? What do you personally think? What would I get canceled over? Never mind, don't answer that. Wait a minute, don't answer. Okay, think before you answer if you're going to answer that. You know, don't answer that.
I'm not answering that.
Okay, fair.
I'm not answering that question.
That's all that matters, W's. Exactly. We get along super well. I know, it's really cute to see you guys just vibing together. God, I'm so gullible. I would love to see Krispy Kreme in person. Just innocent airheadedness. You know what I mean?
That's what, yeah, see, he protects him from getting manipulated. That's how Krispy Kreme has stayed so innocent all this time.
True.
Tim has been protecting him.
Aw, how cute. You're super cool. It's not hard to be canceled, but it's hard to be canceled to make a comeback. It's hard to be canceled to make a comeback. I disagree. You just have to lean into whatever. I think that's less true now. Yeah, I think that used to be the case, but you just need to lean into whatever it is your conviction was that got you canceled, because it's like a statistic game at that point where even if you have a very unpopular opinion, over time, if you get enough exposure, you're going to get like a bodyguard group of people who are going to be like, I'm ride or die for this person. Maybe they just like contrarians. Maybe they just like underdogs. You know what I mean? So it's like, I would have to say nowadays, that's not necessarily the case. And especially now more than ever, all the kids are like, oh, this is controversial. You're based. You're Elon pilled, whatever the kids say nowadays. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think more now, it's easier to recover than it is to like suffer. But I guess it depends on the degree. If you commit a crime, that's a whole other situation. You know, but if you just create a social blunder, I think you're fine.
And that's super true too, Stella. Where you like it's definitely at the point where creators, for the most part, can just go ahead.
Oh well, I was just gonna read it so I could read it out loud, so I can agree with you or disagree. I've seen so many creators get canceled, completely ignore the uproar, and then come back with almost no harm done. Yeah, you know what I mean? You know, one of
like that happens all the time now, where you just ignore the controversy or whatever is canceling you, and it fucking moves on. No one cares.
Yeah, because everyone has such a short attention span anyway, so you always have that as an option as well.
They're always
You
ready
know?
to just move on to the next cancellation.
Yeah.
Yeah, cancel culture is weak as fuck now.
Cancel culture's weak as fuck. They're not sending their best. Guys.
They aren't. They're not sending their best.
You know what I mean? We're gonna need you to put a little bit of your back into this. This is getting weak. Confounds me. What does confound mean?
I remember back when like somebody would, well, you know, like do just whatever like dumb, barely cancelable stuff, and then people would be calling like their place of work and getting them fired and like blacklisted.
Like how many times I saw like a light-skinned individual say the N-word back at the time frame when it was completely normal to say those things, and they bring it up and they lost like everything. Which is like wild if you think about it. You know what I mean?
Remember when people were like digging up 10-year-old tweets to cancel people
that's
over?
What I mean. That's what I mean.
And it was working. It's crazy. Exactly. Yeah.
It was working. You know? I love how Stargazer Grover's still going. Good God. There's a Vocaloid cover artist who got canceled 3 times over blacklist with so many companies that did not give a shit. He still has a huge fan base. I wonder... I think I roughly... Is it that Tado one? I wonder. But you know what I mean? Because think about it. There are some people who just truly respect those who don't care about the opinions of others. So I think people will follow them on that, like, metric alone. Not necessarily that they agree with what they're saying or, like, what they did. More so they're just like, oh, look, this person doesn't even care. I like that they don't care. And then they follow for that reason. I notice that very often, especially when it comes to, like, VTubers being canceled and stuff like that. Taxonomy. Taxonomy. Shout out to that.
Oh, I can be here and be like a live pronunciation corrector.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Look at that.
I have if every stream after this stream, it's just... Tado, Tado, and okay, it was Tor V4.
It'd be like a dream come true.
Maybe. I think I have heard of that one, Stella. But I know like there was this one Teta one. Then we would need a parrot model, says that one leaf. That one leaf's trying to like draw himself into the picture, you know what I mean? He's like, oh well, who could run the parrot model? I could run the parrot model. That one leaf is funny. It's also hard in the YouTube space because now it's based on how strong your niche is in the algorithm and no longer how big your following is. So what is hard to be canceled in the niche? Is that what you're kind of saying? Yeah, I think cancel culture is kind of like, I don't know. I think
it's dying off.
I really do. I really do think so too.
Yeah. Thank God.
Unless it's like heinous crimes, like actual crime, sure. But if you just say whatever, I mean, me personally, I just never cared about words. I've never let words bother me.
Heinous?
Heinous? Did I? Maybe is that not how you say it?
It's heinous.
Heinous. Be nice. Heinous. Be nice. Heinous crimes. Back once again, how long are we going? I don't know. We've been going for 3 hours so far. I'm getting a tiny bit tired and it is 6 p.m. Well, because of our president, how can you cancel? Like, that is true. Look at our quote-unquote role models. The thing he said recently. People were like, that slur hasn't been around since like the 1800s or something like that.
His response was hilarious too.
Yeah, it was honestly that's truly how you address it because like, you know he would not obviously say that. All things considered, yeah, I know he's controversial, blah blah blah, but it's like he wouldn't just say that because it's just dumb. You know what I mean? So it's like he truly believed it that way. You know what I mean? Some people like don't see words the same way. They don't agree on the group consensus of the value of a word. You know, because like me personally, there's a whole bunch of words where I'm like I don't even care. You know, I don't care.
I don't care. I'll say it right now.
Okay, listen here. Calm down. Think over 10 years ago, people could get heat from media fans, the smallest things. Post-cancel culture, you could be Trump, Hassan, or Osman. Like, true. That's like... Yeah, I think that's because, like, the forefront. Which, again, like, I'm assuming those people... Again, like, I can't stand Hassan. But because those people speak their mind, again, like, I think that's why they're so popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like
and
another
I think,
stream of yours.
and that's kind of, you were talking about like Hassan's crowd and stuff
Mm-hmm.
earlier, other than men. And I think it's just like people who are like maybe not even as extreme as him, but they're just
Mhm.
glad to see someone, quote unquote, on their side that's willing to just say it.
Yeah, I do see that.
And so they
too.
like they
I know
kind
what
of
you mean.
support him. Yeah.
I
Like
see
even
what
if
you mean,
he's
yeah,
too
yeah.
far for their taste, it's like, hey,
I see. I see. Aren't role models idols? It depends, Jace the Ace. I think you might be using the biblical term of idol, but I'm not sure. I like the stream format. It's like a cool down for the debate stream. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna have any other debate streams this auto, because like again, like I think we agree with too much.
we
slurs,
unfortunately, unless we did devil's advocate, like we were talking about,
yeah.
or just like spin the wheel and it determines the side that you're
Yeah.
arguing for.
Imagine
or
how
against.
much fun if we could literally do that completely uncensored and like not care about cancel culture. And
Oh,
you know what I mean?
that would be,
That'd be so much fun.
There'd be so many good topics.
Yeah, for real.
And I'd be yelling. I would be yelling.
We should go all in this research to Stargazer. We got some brainiacs in chat. Does the Bible scare you? Absolutely not, Jace the Ace. It does not. Religion does not scare me at all, Jace the Ace. You know, it really doesn't. If there's a hell, I'm probably going to it, and I'll see you guys in hell. You know? That's how it is. Oh my god, that would be crazy. It'd be so much fun.
You better sit next to me in hell if it exists, or I'll be pissed.
Maybe it's all we gotta be the entrepreneurs. Like I said, guys. The slur show, remember that? See, that would be so much fun, though. You know, a slur game show where people can learn whether or not this is a real slur, or if it's not.
Oh, that'd be fun. Like we can like make one up too. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Is this
so
a
like
real one?
You make
Yeah,
the fake slurs, and you have to decide which one's the real one. And then, obviously, to prove it's the real one, you give the historical context about it. So it's educational. Low-key, it's genius.
That'd be great. It's genius.
Like, low-key, you know what I mean?
How do you feel about education about racial slurs?
It's very genius. You know what I mean? I gotta think about that. I'll see you in hell, bestie. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hellish neighbors. Oh, God. Okay, I'll vouch for all you. Stargazer's like, I'm going straight to heaven. I don't know about you guys. I'm going straight to heaven. A moderator for the next debate would be nice to make it more organized. I would say, all things considered, we're relatively controlled. So it's like, it's not so heated of a topic that we would need a moderator, I would say. You know what I mean? This isn't like a presidential election or anything like that.
Right.
We kind of need that. But it would be kind of cool to like see, what do people think? Like, you know, what is someone... But I don't really trust many people's judgment, I'm not gonna lie. Windmill by Gorillas is playing now, says Random. Gotta use slurs properly, you wouldn't want to misslur anyone. Exactly. You know, it's like a loaded gun. If the Bible is 100% true, we are all going to hell. Hell is no joke. Jay says, the Bible, like, the hell doesn't exist. Go ahead.
I was gonna say also, like, the debate being less organized is better. Especially like that more circular philosophical topic, more so than here's my point, here's your point. All right, move on. Here's my point, here's your point. All right, move on. About like several
it's more
topics.
of like it's like a philosophical debate rather, you know, more than a logical one, I'd say. Shorts made my friend's channel grow by 500%, especially if it's interesting. Yeah, I did some shorts for a while. I need to get back on it. And it really did grow a lot on my channel. Queen. Yeah, thank you, Crispy Crate. Promise. Tado, I mean, you need to learn about the bad to prevent it, otherwise we would suffer from ignorance. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Should we tear down statues and sculptures of historical figures because by modern
what are your thoughts? I don't think so.
We consider them evil. I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because it's like, to me, it's like I can very easily separate the art from an artist. And at the end of the day, a statue is a piece of art. If anything, I think it's more valuable to keep them to where you can say, hey, look, here is the history of this person. The history was so significant and written incorrectly back in the day that the people idolized this person. You know what I mean? So it like shows you that it's a very good marker of society was once this, so much so they built statues. now we're not this. You know what I mean? It's a very educational moment, I would say.
Yeah, like I was really one that really grated me was when they took down that Robert E. Lee statue, the big bronze statue.
Yeah, I heard about that. Do you know if they destroyed it or did they just move
They
it?
melted it down.
Oh, drama.
Yeah.
It's all
and the thing is, they went super drama because the video they showed to like show that they were melting it down is, if you're familiar with a death mask, they cut the face of Robert E. Lee off and showed them like melting that part down.
I mean, just corny.
They went
it's
super
performative.
drama for it.
To me, it's just so performative. Like it's kind of like when there are people who are like, I'm super not racist. Here's why. And the only thing that they're communicating to the people, the audience who are listening to them, is them trying to virtue signal how good they are. They just want to make their reputation sound so good by doing these actions. They don't actually truly believe it. So it's like, to me, I'm just very skeptical, especially in a day where it's like you can become advantageous if you are the virtuous person. You know what I mean? It's just drama. It's just drama. I wonder if America is the only place that can't separate art from person. I think so. I really think that the Western world is very, very interesting. I will say. I think so. Separate art from the artist so you can watch the Cosby
I would
Show.
disagree.
Go ahead. You don't think?
Oh, no.
You don't think?
Finish with JC Ace.
You would separate the Cosby Show. For me personally, JC Ace, just because I can separate the art from the artist doesn't mean I celebrate every single artist who's done something bad. There are some artists where I'm like, it's a little much, like Chris Brown. I can separate his music. Forever is a great song. However, I'm just like not a big fan of him for obvious reasons. He physically, multiple times have assaulted women. I believe it was multiple times, but at minimum, Rihanna for sure. And so I don't support him or his music. You know what I mean? So I don't support Bill Cosby either because I think he's a fucking creep. I can never separate art from the artist, Jace the Ace. It depends again. It depends on the art, you know?
But I was going to bring up a couple examples of, like, I know at least Japan has issues with it. I remember Log Horizon after season 2, the mangaka, actually, no, because it's a light novel, the author, he got busted for tax evasion.
Oh.
And so they immediately, like, they were already looking to potentially make season 3 and then immediately stopped because now Log Horizon is attached to that. And then there's like the Rurouni Kenshin one.
Yeah,
and, there's a lot of examples there.
To me, Rurouni Kenshin's like that's like the worst one. You know, there was also another one, the artist of Please Tell Me Galako-san.
The gal. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like that's understandable, but like it's so funny. I've seen like again like I forget what specific culture, but it's like one of them had like marijuana. They were like, this guy is Satan himself. You know what I mean?
In Korea that happens all the time, where like the K-pop stars get like busted with a drug or something, and that just their career just fucking plummets because people can't separate it. So it's definitely not just a Western.
Yeah. Tado, these people infuriate me. Their ignorance keep pushing us back for progress and bringing awareness on their cause, like being hostile and being biased. Are you talking about people who want to destroy artwork? Because I think I kind of missed this.
Was this one to like the destruction of statues?
That maybe. That's why I think it is.
Because like getting rid of the statues, it can remove awareness from like if you don't agree with a historical figure, you should want them in the limelight so everyone can see how bad they are.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a very good marker of society. At one point, we thought this person was so great, we created a monument for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stargazer and Gorup just going to town. Separating art from the artist is about judging the work itself based on the work rather than assuming the creator's views are that of what they created. Shout out to that. So we're talking about separating the art and the artist. Doesn't the same also exist also in America and with the product and the manufacturer? With the product and the manufacturer.
I would say in that instance, in America, 99% of people totally separate the products they consume from the manufacturing company. nobody cares about the child. Like, I'm
Like
sorry,
hold on, hold
no
on.
one cares about the fucking child labor and all that shit.
Here in
As long as it's
America?
cheap. Yeah, like no one
Yeah,
cares that
yeah,
it's
yeah,
made in a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
sweatshop.
Yeah, exactly. Man, yeah, I used to see that all the time on TikTok where they're like, oh, they would show like this, like literally like slave labor for Shein, and they'd be
Mhm.
like, all right, where's my order? Just terrible, but like, you know what I mean? It just shows again,
Yeah,
like, you know, it's
yeah.
funny, but it's like, you know, it's fucked up. But it's like
Mhm.
yeah, I do find that very hypocritical, but the product and the manufacturer, is it more so the business? Maybe? I don't, it's one of those things. That I will say that that is something that kind of also bothers me is it's very hypocritical where you cast stones on certain things but not other things. You know what I mean? I guess that's life. Elon Musk and Teslas. Elon Musk is a wacko. He is a
Elon Musk
wacko.
is hilarious to me
I
because
mean, he's
when
mad
he first
funny, just
started when
wacky.
he first started making those Teslas, the right wing fucking hated him, and it was only left wing getting these fucking Teslas.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
slowly inverted. And then he did like a full swap, and then it's like all right wingers are like, yeah, let's get Teslas. We love electric cars.
And then the
And I was like,
Trump
what happened?
divorce.
And then yeah, the Trump divorce, and now nobody fucking likes him. He burned both bridges.
He played both the sides, you know? Suffering
Yeah.
from success.
He played both the sides, so in the end, he would be the only loser.
Yeah, you know what I mean? The hypocrisy on this topic. They want to help stop child labor, but they don't want to sacrifice their one-day delivery. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
completely agree. I completely agree.
They don't want to see prices go up. They don't want to see like any hurt to their convenience. They just want a virtue signal about like oh, people objectively child labor is like slave labor is bad. Look, I'm against that, guys.
Yeah.
Now where's my Sheen order?
Yeah, exactly. And I also think it's really funny when people try to be so outwardly vocal about it as if they are doing something. They're like, guys, unfollow me if you think rape is good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like the most basic take. It's the most basic take. And they're like, unfollow me if you think killing people is bad. Or excuse me, if you think killing people is good. You know, it's like all those type of things. It's just crazy. It's like the most obvious thing.
No, I've never ordered a Sheen. Matt.
Well, the war says post if you don't agree. You know what I mean? I saw somebody. I completely just blocked them after this. I was on Twitter, or excuse me, not Twitter, Instagram, and they were like, repost this if you're anti-rape. I'm checking who views this post in my story. So if you don't post this very, you know, untrigger warning little thing, they were gonna like call you out. I'm like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? What the? I hate when people say take a stand for Wisconsin. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you know, unfollow me if you think rape is good. I think I may have said rape is bad and incorrectly the first time. I don't even remember now. Yeah, that's the worst. You know what I mean? It's just so performative. And it's like, to me, why are they... the question is, why are they trying so hard to look like such a good, virtuous person? You know? Like, why is that?
Yeah, I mean...
Shout out to Distracted to Tado.
No. It's interesting. Sorry, I didn't ask me. It is interesting. Like, why are they so desperate to prove, like, look, guys, I'm one of the good ones. Like, I'm a good guy. Don't look into me. Haha.
To me, I know again, like it's cliche, but it's just like it's one of those things where it's like, why are you being so performative? You want to cover up something. Not to say every case, but that's what it feels like. You think people will separate art and artist from me someday, given how I harassed and stalked somebody online in high school? Says Jace the Ace. Okay, Jace the Ace, I'm a little curious. Who did you harass and stalk online in high school? A high school friend unfriended me because I didn't share their story despite knowing I supported the cause. You know what I mean? It's just.
Wait, they would actually like unfriend over that?
I've seen people do that. Yeah, I've seen people
That's
do
insane.
that.
Because
Sure.
that's like those. That's like the more modern equivalent of those shitty email chains. Like,
Yeah,
if you don't send this to 8 people, your fucking mom's gonna die tonight.
I remember those. I remember those.
I mean, that's what
Hello.
this sounds like to me.
Yeah. Hello, anyone on Art Fight this year? Says Lovely Starbell. I personally am not. I personally am not an Art Fight.
I've never heard of Art Fight until this year, and I've heard about it several times lately.
Yeah. You know? I bet it's the likes. That's what I... That's the only thing I could really, like, say, like, that's the case. It is engagement baiting, because if your stories and stuff get shared, you get more, like, following and exposure. That's gotta be it. You know what I mean? The whole standing for common sense thing sounds... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to reply to Gore, who asked, what is Art Fight? And I was going to say, I still really don't know, to be honest.
The whole standing for common sense thing sounds like attention seeking that's coming from a foreign attention seeker. Yeah, I think that's really what it is. You know what I mean? Like so that's why... Oh god, that's why I think it's funny. I think it's funny
because
it's
the elephant in the room?
What's the elephant?
Well, once you're done. It's about what Crispy Clee said.
Alright, address the elephant.
Yeah, right there, Darkfire said. I was going to say, what do you... We see you, Crispy Clee. We're all attention seekers here.
Oh. Wait, I don't get it.
He said former attention seeker.
Oh! Okay. I see. I mean, yeah, everyone's attention seeking. The thing is like, there's nothing wrong with being an attention seeker. Like, we're social creatures. We want attention. There's nothing wrong with that. It's how you obtain the attention, and if it's, like, for, like, a valuable thing. You know, if you're just doing it for the sake of getting attention, you're a fool. But if you're trying to create something to, like, make an impact on the world, and you want attention for that, I see there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? I just censored myself a lot during the first Trump presidency and lost a lot of IRL people. I'm like, that was wild. Let me think. I remember, like, I think the biggest division I've had with my social circles was COVID. I've never, like, split from so many people than in COVID. And the funniest thing is these sons of bitches, okay? In the military that I'm friends with on, like, Facebook, whatever. They're sharing stuff where they're like, oh, you can't make me get the vaccine. It was literally required. It was
mandatory for military.
Losers. Like, I know you're lying. Like, they're trying to say, like, you can't force me. Bitch, go see your HM. You're getting it. Attention, please. Darkfire always wants his attention. I was a lot worse, so I am curious. Wait, I wonder, like, I want to see Crispy Clee at his worst. I'm very curious. I was too. Stargazer, you still are. Gotcha. It seems like I'm a fool, says that one leaf. Me and Tado.
Yeah, nothing new there.
Are the same side about COVID. I feel like you and Tado are very, very similar, Darkfires. I think that's so funny.
In certain ways, yeah.
I'd say. I'm part of Attention Seekers Anonymous. I'm here of Chaos' peer-led mutual aid group focused on abstinence recovery from VTubers. Oops, already broke my oath. I'm watching, says Matt Maeda. You guys are so silly.
Matt Maeda's got a good way with words. He should be a writer.
Right? Tado, what is your favorite type of molecular bond? Inter or intra, and why?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the different types of molecular bonds. Are there only 2?
Jay Stay says, do you read above on who I was referring to? I don't think I was, Jay Stays. Let me see. Oh, the girl I was obsessed with. I see. I hope... I do like the fact that you,
Wait, why Stargazer?
You said
sorry?
Was. Huh?
Why Stargazer sorry?
Oh. I was too. I said you are now. He said I was also a attention seeker. I'm like, you still are now.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Ways we can't say out loud, Darkverse. Listen here. Look here. Listen. Earth says
Tim, it takes It takes a different kind of person to be willing to just admit that they don't know the types of molecular bonds in 2025.
You're stupid. No, intra means
Takes a goat.
internally a molecule. The strong molecular bonds. Well, inter is between molecules.
Okay, I
The
actually
weak ones,
do
I
know the
butchered
difference
that.
between. I do know the difference between strong and weak, like vaguely. I kind of remember this from my chemistry class.
Okay, hold on. Jace the Ace says, you were saying K before Tado rudely interrupted. Agreed. Rude.
Sorry.
We might have to put
Sorry,
him in the
Jace.
cage for that one.
I apologize, Jace the Ace.
But Jace the Ace, I'm glad that you said was, meaning past tense. Do you agree that it's past tense? The obsession you had with that girl? Because I truly hope it was past tense. Oh, I'll get my bird cage. Man, shout out to Stella for teaching me studio mode. It makes life so much easier.
Getting caged by chat.
Oh, drama. Alright, we'll put you right there.
Oh, to answer your question, Gorv, while we're waiting, I prefer the strong molecular bonds.
I hated chemistry. Me too. I don't know anything. Studio mode's a goat. You know what I mean? All I remember of chemistry is covalent, or I don't know. Guys, remember? Did you guys have to memorize the periodic table? I had to.
They tried to make us memorize it.
Yeah.
I think I memorized like a chunk of it, and then I was like, "This is fucking worthless."
What is studio mode? Studio mode is where you can like kind of like whatever screen you're currently on right now, you can kind of freeze it, and so that's where the chat, what you guys only see, is the studio mode. When I can move on to a different scene, like like how I have different like areas and stuff like that, and like edit and move around. So that way, for example, like I just got out the bird cage from the last debunk or debate stream. You know what I mean? You go to Tado in the cage.
Don't keep.
Honey mustard herring salad. That sounds good. The thoughts still invade me, but I'm afraid to speak with her, and her boyfriend has made it clear that she doesn't want me around her in life anymore. Then you just gotta cut the loss, Jace the Ace. You just gotta cut the loss. She's not the one just for you. Jace the Ace, you gotta be looking and preparing for the person who is just for you. In that case, I'm removing her from my contacts entirely and permanently. That sounds like a great idea, Jace the Ace. And guess what, Jace the Ace? Dark Viruses went through the exact same thing. A bitch didn't want him, and now he's struggling to get away from her. But I think he's making good progress. You know what I mean? So you and Dark Virus have a lot in common. We never had to memorize it, but we did have to recognize all the sections. No, I had to memorize it. Good God, too many D words. You know what I mean? Wait, why is Tado back in the cage? Because Jace the Ace was right. He rudely interrupted me. Gotta go bye, everyone, and be nice to Chaos and Tado. Be nice to each other too. I interrupted. I deserved it.
Thank you, Stargazer.
Whoa. She did want me, LOL. Then why does she have a boyfriend? Gotcha. She wanted to play with you. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Again, having a man dance in your palm is a very intoxicating feeling as a woman. I would know. So therefore, she didn't want you, though. You didn't get picked. The boyfriend got picked. How to break down the patterns of a bitch. Hell yeah. Did she want you, or did she want both of you? Complicated ... really makes you think. Really makes you think, Dark Virus. Wanted both of you at the same time? She did, but she still chose the boyfriend over Dark Virus. Rest in peace. And if for some reason we come across each other in public and she politely says, "Hi, Jace," I'll tell her, "Fuck off, bitch." Maybe, Jace Ace, maybe we don't have to really go that far. See, Jace Ace, that shows your cards too much. That shows you that you're emotionally upset at her. If she's emotionally making you upset, she has control over you. The answer, Jace the Ace, when she says, "Hi, Jace," you're going to say, "I'm sorry, do I know you?" That way it implies that she's so insignificant in your life that you don't even remember who she is. You don't even have malice because you don't even know. That's how you do damage. You gotta do psychological damage, Jace the Ace. Not aggression. Oh my god, that escalated, Jace. You know what I mean? Jace the Ace, why I always go to the mysterious crying emoji. Jace is so funny for that though, Loki. Control makes ketchup squirt. What the? No let... whatever that was. Dating sounds scary in jail. I do ask, Crispy Clee, have you ever dated someone? I do ask. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, of course. I do, but on a super basic and service level. Tado, are you my co-host? Or are you a chatter today?
I am.
There we go.
I'm your co-host. I'm in
Start
the cage.
acting like it.
I'm behaving. I'm behaving. You put me in the cage.
Oh, drama.
You put me in the timeout cage.
Alright, you're free again.
Uncaged. I'm back. Hello,
Oh,
chat.
God.
I've returned. Back from the cage. I apologize for interrupting.
That only
you.
says, that's why you're my favorite teacher, always going for the psychological warfare. You have... Okay, so remember, if you can get into people's minds, you can control them. It's all about control. It's all about control, you know? I'm just efficient. Before I leave, quick question to Sodom KO's, any girl advice? There's a lot to it, so you have to go into detail of what you want in a woman, you know, what you're expecting of her. I hope that you've moved on. I think it's kind of toxic that you call the ex-crush your current crush, because she should be an ex-crush because she has acknowledged and factually said she's not interested in you. So you should be in the process of moving on. But yeah, it's girl advice is very, very vague, and I don't know why you're asking Tado, considering he's a Omega card holder.
I do enjoy that my name was put before yours by some fucking miracle.
Right? Some eardom in a Discord server I was in love with an older woman, and he's 17 or 16 for the record, says Reina. That's very common, where people will misfire an adult figure and develop a crush on them. Debunk is Exhibit A for that. Older women, they kind of like the feeling of having like a motherly like figure in their life, and that's more often than not an adult person who has a significant age gap. Is it healthy? It depends, but majority of the time I'd say it's rather unhealthy. But at the same time, it's also healthy in the sense that kids very, like, for example, like middle schoolers and high schoolers will have crushes on their teachers. Obviously, if nothing, you know, goes in it, just like, you know, it's a harmless crush. I had a crush on, like, I don't know how many damn teachers. Oh God.
I definitely remember. Is that more common for, like, girls to have crushes on their male teachers?
I would say so, but I don't know.
Because I was gonna say, I definitely remember like overhearing way more women having crushes on their teachers than I do remember.
It could be.
I won't say that I don't remember any men. Sorry, go ahead.
It could be. I don't know. Well, I mean, perhaps because like women, I feel like look for like a provider, a man who's like capable, and that's likely to be a teacher in that situation because he looks capable. You know what I mean? So perhaps. Mm-hmm. But I don't exactly know what men look for in an older woman. I think 9 times out of 10. I don't know. To me, it seems like a lot of from my experience, the man has a weird relationship with his mother. You know what I mean? Like in a negative, like unhealthy.
Yeah.
Like mommy issues.
I will say, like, at my school,
mm-hmm.
Was it my junior year?
Mm-hmm.
There was a new teacher who was like freshly graduated, right? So she's only like 4 or 5 years older than the students themselves.
Yeah.
That one, a lot of the guys were definitely.
So did you say in college or in high school?
It really wasn't. This was in high school.
Okay, yeah. See,
which
like,
I was saying, she had just graduated. She had just graduated. So.
Yeah, I would say like the teachers I had crushes on. Yeah, they were relatively younger, so it's like kind of in that like area. You know what I mean? So I will say that kind of makes sense. I've never dated. I've always been too goal-oriented until recently. I see. I'd like to see Tado's dating advice, and then all KO's it does is correct him and interrupt him. It'd be funny. You know what I mean? That actually would be hilarious.
Ask
Tado's questions. Okay. You know what I mean? Is it acceptable, Tado, for you to like a prior female coworker's post on Instagram?
Prior female coworker, like I don't work with her anymore.
Exactly, and like say you work with her, and
why would I interact with her on social media if I'm not working with her?
Okay, but still, Do you think it's appropriate to like her post?
I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't see it as inherently like inappropriate, but I wouldn't do it. It's
It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate.
Okay.
That's grounds for divorce.
I don't use Instagram.
Crucifixion.
I don't use Instagram.
It's grounds. It's grounds for a fight.
Okay.
So
I'll keep that in mind if I
nice
ever use Instagram.
Oh yeah, he was being nice to this auto and including him. Gotcha. Oh God. I'm going too slow. This random has something for mothers. Yeah, I think it's usually when people have a very insecure relationship with their mother, as in their mother isn't a secure figure in their life that they can rely on and that they can trust. They have a tendency to kind of look for that behavior in a partner because it's familiar to them, you know? And so that's why that usually happens. Well, good night. And if my dad ever brings her up, I'll tell him that we don't talk about her anymore, says Jace the Ace. Copy that. Go ahead, Tado.
Real quick. Also, goodbye to Gorv, who's going to bed. Good night,
Gorv. I definitely remember it being an even split for me in high school. Yeah, I would say so. I will say
Maybe.
I had the biggest one I had a crush on was my 3rd grade teacher.
Like while you were in 3rd grade?
Yeah, I had the biggest crush on her. Like super, like I would like literally ask her, like, you know, ask for help because she would do that thing where it's like, you know how they like lean over you and you're kind of like cradled underneath. You know what I'm talking about? So you know when the teacher stands up behind you and like leans over on top of you? It's like I'd ask for help, so she'd do that.
I accidentally called my 1st grade teacher mom several times.
A classic. I feel like who hasn't? You know what I mean?
But like it was a lot for. But I mean, considering I didn't have a mom at that point, kind of makes sense if you think about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of That's kind of like heartbreaking. I personally wouldn't, said Crispy Clee. I don't remember what we were talking about there. Oh god, I'm slow. Kayla just wants to fight. Oh, he personally wouldn't. Okay, like the post. That's fair. That's smart. You know,
that's why I said I wouldn't. But
it's inappropriate. Exactly. Dark Virus gets it. You know what I mean? Do you think it's appropriate to follow women on Twitter, Tado?
Not while in a relationship.
I had to crush my 3rd grade teacher too. I know what the hell happened. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know that. You know what I mean? Orphan. He has a god like someone who was lacking some parental love. Probably.
I'm just saying, let's be honest here. If you're a guy following like women on Twitter, like, okay, you know, there's like female content creators that it's like maybe whatever. But if we're talking about women on Twitter, you're following them.
Maliciously?
Specific reasons.
Yeah,
you know what reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, if you're in a relationship, what do you need that for?
Exactly. That's kind of how I see it too.
Exactly.
Not unless it's your specific Twitter, you know what I mean? That's pretty sad, Chun Chun. That's so funny. Lucky me, I never had crushes or for the faculty. I love how she says the faculty. Very rarely, you know what I mean? Right? It's so funny. For the faculty, though I accidentally said mom to one of my teachers in 4th grade. That's real. Good night, Jace the Ace. I appreciate you being here. Maybe whatever. Do tell Tado. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting a little tired. What say you, Tado?
Yeah, I could, if you want to end it, I'd be okay with it. I won't cry too much afterwards.
Yeah. What about VTubers? Like, am I obligated to unfollow KOs if I enter a relationship?
Yes.
I think it depends on the creator. But girlfriend experience VTubers, perhaps. If she's super insecure, I think that in and of itself is a very red flag. But I think it depends. Like, you know, if the VTuber does absolutely nothing to like indicate that she's like flirting with the audience, that's I think it's fine to keep following them. But I don't know, it's very interesting. Like celebrities, you know what I mean? Like following celebrities. That's crazy. You guys still remember things from when you were that young. Yeah, I have a pretty good memory, all things considered. That one leaf is hinting for you to do Scrabble. School had to ring my dad because he was the only one available about that, says Raina. I see. The faculty. He was office more than just like gooning though, so you know what I mean? More than gooning.
Yeah. That's what I'm
implying
saying.
that
Like,
there's
if it's
gooning plus. there's gooning and there's more. You know what I mean?
you know, it's like other than just being an attractive woman, there's more to you. You know.
Oh, brother, drama. So we should all follow
But yeah, no.
Tado if Chaos gets a BF. Yeah, why not?
Chaos gets a BF that isn't Tosado. I'm necking.
I'm necking drama. Chaos is like, after that super chat, no. Shut up. I was like, what the hell does that mean? You're so funny, Dark Bears. You're so fucking funny.
Yo.
That was a quick one.
Oh hey, welcome in a wild path.
A wild pav.
But
I know
wait,
we're about
there's
to
more.
knock. We're about to knock the stream. Go to bed. Oh no, I mean I definitely followed you for your art. Yeah, I know. It's just funny. she does things other than gooning.
I mean, she did call us goons.
Yeah, it's true. I do like the goons, but I like in the way that, like, you know, back in the day when they used to call like the mafia boss. They're like all these goons.
They've ruined it. Yeah. They ruined being able to call just call your group of like friends, you know, your goons. And now you can't say that.
The riff-raff.
That ruined.
I like that too. I actually initially kind of expected your audience to be more women, but I guess you know what I mean? I thought so too. Like, I'm trying to like show women, hey guys, it's this easy to manipulate men. You just gotta think a little bit. But none of the women are biting.
Yeah, like there's all these men in your chat ready to be manipulated.
Exactly.
So where are the women
I'm showing
to do
Exhibit A. Now I need the people. I need the scholars. You know, the ones who want to learn. You know what I mean?
Leaf kind of spitting right now.
What is he saying?
No women, only mommy issues.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. Men like to be manipulated. I think it makes them feel desired. Any sort of attention from a woman is like positive attention. So even if it's manipulation, you're still interacting with them. And because you're interacting with them, you're like, oh, I must be desired, therefore. So I think they're just like so attention starved, not gonna lie. Tons of Giga Chads in here, says Reina. I feel like Chaos is like being a tomboy in former Navy is a factor for that. Factor for not having women around? Perhaps. Me and women just don't get along, I will say. Where are the baddies here to take advantage of me? For real, says Timmy. You're so funny.
I love Tim. Tim's funny.
I know, Tim is super funny. All press is good press. Are you implying you're always manipulating the chat?
It's not a joke,
Especially the men. I do get super tomboy. I'm super tomboy, I would say. I'm like, you know, athletic. I have a very masculine personality, I would say. I still think I have a relatively androgynous voice, you know? I think it's just because it's like a tiny bit deeper than normal. Honestly.
I think your voice is very feminine.
You think so? I think you're lying. I think you're just into tomboys.
No, I don't think so. Like, it's very clearly feminine.
Maybe the way that I you know how I do like I'm going up and down with the calling my what's it called?
Yeah, it might just be like your intonation.
Yeah, there we go.
Like your pitch itself may be androgynous. I'd have to actually like focus in on that. But yeah, no, I think the way you talk is very feminine.
Yeah, I would say so. I talk like a woman, you know what I mean? I think it's a tomboy voice for sure. Thank you. He's brainwashed. I think so as well. I'd say your voice is feminine and enunciation. He's attracted to her voice, as Matt Maeda.
True.
Oh,
Matt spitting.
Alright, you guys, I think I'm gonna call it a stream. I'm getting a little tired. I appreciate for all you guys being here, even though we had absolutely nothing planned. And I'll see you guys in the Discord, because I don't know what I'm streaming next, I'm not gonna lie. Do I look like a bitch, Dark Virus? Absolutely. Good night, you guys. This was a good stream.
Good night. Great stream. Tosado's presence saved us all.